Good. Welcome, of course, to an episode of Opinionated with yours truly. I had a weird start to my day today, which is something because I haven't really slept. There's that. Um, Also, I hope that you guys doing well today. For those who don't know, in case your days are off, yes, of course, it is Wednesday, and I was sitting there going through a couple things in my head. I was wondering if I should start making specific days particular things, but then I kind of stopped myself because I'm like, I'm still kind of dealing with a little bit of that roadblock. I don't know what's up with me. I just can't seem to get myself into a writing mood. Uh, with that being said, of course, welcome to another episode. Of course, here on this particular channel, on this particular type of show that we have here, we like to engage in basically thought-provoking conversations. Sometimes it's going to be some things that are controversial. Sometimes it's just going to be for general vibe by what people are thinking out in the world. Other times it's going to be pretty much what we take a look in media, but the idea is to generate discussions, get perspectives for particular people, and most of all, get what's in our head to be the thing that comes out of our mouth and not the things that we hear on a regular basis because we get so wrapped up in media that, quite frankly, we become a little bit indoctrinated, whether we realize it or not, right? And the idea of the platform is to put basically the power of critical thought back in people's minds. Now, before we get started on anything today, I do want to put out just early enough that if you haven't already seen the tickers below, you can already see all my different medias in which you can be able to reach out to me, whether it's on Twitter or here on YouTube, whether it's actually going to be at Resla Opinionated over on Instagram, and of course the email also at wrestleropinionated@gmail.com. And while you're at it, guys, like the video and subscribe to the channel, especially if you've already been here before, so you already kind of know what we'll be getting into. But before we start off today's events, you know how we kick things off earlier. We like to see who actually showed up. All right, nice and early. I saw that Butterfly Jones came in. He may have taken a little bit of break. He was here extra early, but I do appreciate him for showing up. Locksmith, what's good? What's coming on? Happy that you came in. OG, thank you for coming on. Course, as always. Oh yeah, listen. I like the music too. I do think about switching it up sometime, but then I play it and I just go, no, it feels right. It feels right. Trust me, I have other things on the other burners that I'd be thinking about wanting to play. But oh no, you still here? Okay, cool. Cool. That's well, hopefully other people have gotten the message as well. I kind of hit that go live button a little too early, but I wanted to test out some of the new music that I had that was going on, how I really felt about it, just playing it and hearing it, hearing some things go by. I don't know. I like some things, kind of not like some things. So we'll see what's going on with that. So I wanted to really take a look to see what's going on to my feeds, but my feeds are going crazy. I blame OG for this. I blame you, OG. My feed is looking crazy right now. I can't really pick up anything anymore. So I did try to do a little bit of digging into some notes that I've already had, things that I tried to make some writing on. And I do have a couple of questions that really popped in my mind. So hopefully that we can all have a bit of a conversation about it. So one of the first things that came to my mind is that I was looking at one of my past notes on my notions. That's where I write a lot of my scripts and everything. Writing out in notions, and then I was taking a look to see how exactly are the younger generations, for people who are actually here, and I'm talking about specifically Gen Z, how are they coping with everything going on in the world? And I started doing a little bit of digging before the show starts to see what I can actually find on that. How exactly were some things that were some questions in my mind, and I did run across a particular channel, which is funny enough because I am subscribed to them, and I need to take a little bit more time to take a look at some of their other works, but it's these two gentlemen here that we have, and they have a show that's called Triggernometry, and they brought this gentleman on who I also want to get to take a look at. Sorry, my feet is all over the place. By the way, guys, by the way, I'm just gonna do this right now. I'm going to post the link in the chat. You know how I do. if you feel free that you want to come up or you want to be able to say whatever you want to say, if you have any particular perspectives, I'm all right with that. There's no particular rules to say right now that you need to be on camera. My thing is that if you're not going to be on camera, stay off of camera. Um, don't You don't have to worry about anything else. Because I'm not going to be changing up any rules at least anytime soon. So you got a little bit of comfort right now. But I do see what's going on with this particular thing, and I want to know what exactly, from the perspective of someone who is a Gen Zer, who's well versed, at least with what he feels is information is out there, and with the particular question that they're asking, how exactly is Gen Z navigating the world that we have today? And let me know if you agree. I'm going to be reading the chat as well.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great to have you on. Listen, we haven't had actually, I think, somebody talk about Gen Z and your generation from a male perspective. You do that quite well. You talk about it quite a lot. So what's going on with you young people nowadays?
So there has been quite a lot of survey data coming out from University of Michigan. There was a piece published in the Financial Times a few days ago that's showing a bifurcation in political attitudes between men and women. The conspiratorial person in me says that this is driven somewhat by birth control, but it's obviously driven by algorithmic trends and certain grievance narratives that are being pushed on social media. I know you've had Freya in, she's spoken a lot about how young women are pliable at a time of peak anxiety to social trends. And so if they're being whipped into a frenzy and they say that all of their male peers are participating in some grand conspiracy of oppression against them, they might be more antagonistic towards them. And so you're seeing, in retaliation to that, young men are trending more socially conservative, even if they're not identifying with the establishment right-wing political parties that we're currently seeing. And it's not just a symptom of Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson, it's a fact of everything they're being taught in the classroom is radioactively uncool. If you're repeatedly being beaten over the head as a young guy who's just trying to make his way in the world, potentially if your dad isn't even around, because around 50% of young people these days in the UK are raised between two households with their father scarcely or never present, you're thinking, well, actually, I don't feel like an agent of tyranny. Actually, I feel like you're not credible and you're lying to me. And all of this stuff, I just don't associate with it. So I'm going to go and swap to the other side.
So even though they are, quote, part of the Western world, right, we do happen to see that it's not just us here in the U.S. that deal with fathers that are not necessarily in the house. And again, you'll even hear it from someone who's of his particular ethnicity demographic. Like, this is something that happens just a lot in Western countries. He also mentioned that men are pretty much not finding their way in the place, even as young as they are. And I guess you can look at it maybe on some areas that he may be looking at it, because quite frankly, right now we do see that Caucasian men in particular seem to be the favorite topic right now for bashing. Like, they don't really have any kind of particular space that they feel like they can really vocalize themselves with. And it's interesting for him to say that, because these are the things that I've been in so many spaces right now where we talk about either men in general or just how it looks like for people in other ethnicities, mainly those in Asian and those in Black community. But to actually hear something come from a Caucasian person's mouth, and for them to actually talk about other things that are actually going on as well, it's something to actually pick up on. And I think it's good to hear it from the particular person's mouth, even though they are, quote, in the UK. I do notice from the things I was reading just prior to the show that these are the things that are affecting Western countries altogether. So it's not just something that we see in the US. Because sometimes we just get in our own thing. We think that something happening in our little world in the US, that something that happens across the globe, and it's not. But you do see that in a Western, rather, philosophy, all demographics are feeling the shift of this.
So you're seeing that split, and that split is particularly pronounced, I think, within the Zoomers, between the pre and post phone at school generation. So after the Great Awakening, after 2014, after the massive uptake of iPhones, you're seeing people trend towards social progressivism. Again, particularly young girls. This is where you're getting the stats from the likes of Stonewall and Pew Research that say 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 Gen Z are identifying as LGBTQ by the time they leave school. Policy Exchange found the same thing. But I think in the reverse, you're seeing a lot of Zoomers who are on the sort of Zennial cusp. So born pre-2000, they're digital natives, but they're very skeptical of framing. They're quite postmodern in this way, but not postmodern in the way that we use it, as in swept up by grievance narratives. They don't necessarily buy all of the establishment ideals that are fed to them. And unlike the millennials, who had a very tight frame of reference for early internet adoption, things like even memes were shared, like Nyan Cat and Out Charlie and things like that. They have a more personally curated internet experience. So it's a lot more customized. It's a lot more niche. And so they can lean into subcultures which have particular political identities. And so that means they can either follow the kind of Tumblr gender stuff, which is very destructive, or they can look towards the traditionalist revivalism, the vitalism, the almost Christian nationalism that you're seeing from the States, and they can pick a political subculture and identify with that, and that might actually allow them to follow a brand of politics which is a rebellion against the current order that isn't serving them quite well. So
well, I think that's been that way for multiple generations. Anything that's not really serving the quote benefit of all is pretty much how they went against that stuff. We saw that from boomers, like free love, and they were against the Vietnam War. Then you have like millennials and even X who are against particular type of wars, whether it was the Gulf War or whatever, or people that just had their own political stances or how they want to change a particular government or even workforce. You've seen these things happen all the time. So that's just something that comes with every generation and what they perceive to be the thing that's the current crisis for them. That's just, in my opinion, how I see that, because that's something you can see propagated throughout time. Whether some people agree with it or not, whether you stance on this, we can't argue the fact that there are people who did do these things en masse. I just think I find it's really interesting how there seems to be this focus on how the boomers do things. I'm not even worried about the whole internet thing, because quite frankly, I do agree with him when it comes to that. Uh, it's a difference from people who, I'll even put X in this as well, who grew up with the advent of the internet coming in, so they were able to really lock down on the things that they were really looking at, and they can find the things they really had an interest in because they didn't grow up in a world where they were spammed. Would you look at this? You should try this. Try this. Try this. Look at this over here, over that. We were able to look at things just before it came out. So by the time we actually got algorithms that were paying attention to what we were looking for, we already knew what we were looking for. We already knew what we wanted. They just gave us more of what we wanted, rather than we had so many subjective messages thrown at us, even of things that we didn't necessarily care about. Gen Z is walking into a place where even political or even company affiliations or ideologies are being thrown at them, and they're being quote forced to watch it because it shows up in the ads and everything else like that, and they're liable to click on it, rather than we already know what we're looking for. So if all we've been looking at are, say, cat and dog videos or DIYs for camping or whatever, we were already going to get that, period, because we already had a specific niche, and Gen Z doesn't really know what they want, so they're given everything. So that I agree with him on that part.
I'm almost defending Gen Z a little bit in saying there's hope for some of them because they can curate their own political identity.
Well, by the way, we have like literally no reason to have a go at Gen Z.
I mean, we do.
Yeah. what I mean.
But your arc speech was this perfectly. It's why are you surprised that Gen Z?
OG, are you asking, is the world turning into America? Is that your question? As your question, I would say no. Slowly things become democratic over time because we're the new kids, we're the popular kids, we're the cool aunts or uncles of the world. But there are plenty of other nations that just, they're not falling in line with the things that we do in America. There are some things they might pick up on economically, but they still very much have cultures. So I can't say that everywhere is turning into the US, but there are definitely a lot of aspects of things that they understand they could benefit from. Like this, despite the fact of how much influence that let's just say Hong Kong or even areas of India have had influence through westernized cultures, they still haven't turned around and become as industrialist, or rather as Western, as our Western countries now. It just hasn't happened because they still have a strong cultural foundation. This is in my opinion, and for what I've seen still today. That's just my thing. So will it probably happen? Mm, I think by the time we see them get to, if they do, if they ever get to a point of where we are today, the US is going to be so far into the next shit. They'll just be now catching up. That's just the way how I look at it. But yeah, it's a good question.
You're a bunch of revolutionaries, no matter what flavor, if they
Mayo, it's
can't
good.
own a house and have a family.
Right. It's true. And this is one of the reasons I say I'm not interested in having a go at Gen Z. I think some of the things that they're acting out and saying, some of them are pretty stupid. But this was, by the way, people, as they get old, they forget how stupid they were when they were 18, 19, 20 also, right? And as you say, you know, our generation faced a housing crisis, but it was nowhere near as bad as your generation is facing. And so I don't want to have a go at Gen Z. I'm interested in understanding where they're coming from, why we are seeing some of the pretty dumb stuff that we're seeing. Frankly, you know, they love Osama bin Laden, some of them for some reason, all of this nonsense. But also the thing that I find really troubling, and, you know, I became a father recently to a boy, is I've always felt that the demonization of men that I've been seeing, not all of my life, but most of my adult life, it didn't really affect me, because my solution to that was, well, look, men just need to be better. Like Chris Williamson and I talked about this. You just got to study, you got to improve, you got to get skills, and then you're going to be fine in the world. And that has been my experience, right? What I think is happening from an outside perspective, observing your generation, is there are a lot of boys, frankly, to whom that's just not available, because their entire life has been spent being told how shit they are. And it sounds like that's kind of what you're saying is happening with boys of your generation.
That, and if they don't have an at-home model for why they should emulate and appreciate masculinity, they're not equipped with the language to push back on this. This is something that C.S. Lewis talked about in Abolition of Man, which is a great little text I advise everyone read. In the first part, he talks about in the 40s how education was stripping boys of their ability to appreciate the world around them and have confidence in their morals. So he was saying there's this textbook that gaslights young men into thinking that if they look at a waterfall and they feel sublime or in awe, that they're actually just projecting their feelings onto the waterfall. It's not that the real world can reliably elicit a sense of feelings in you. So nothing is objective, everything is subjective. And what that ends up meaning is we can supplant your existing value system and give you our one. And so if these guys, it's almost like the Fight Club quote of, we're a generation of men raised by women, and we're being told that a woman is another solution. If you haven't been raised by a man, which lots of young men haven't, then you're either going to look for surrogate male father figures online, the healthy versions like Jordan Peterson, the unhealthy versions like Andrew Tate, or you're going to be so incapable of defending your masculinity that you fall prey to social trends, which is why you're seeing either they're identifying in consumer goods, like all the people that hoard Funko Pops, or the young boys that are from age 11 upwards getting addicted to pornography. And there's now a mass prescription, I think it was 4 million last year, of erectile dysfunction medication to young men. So if you've been institutionally gaslit out of thinking there is value in masculinity, and you haven't had a father in the home to understand the value in that and how to transmit that value down a long civilizational chain, then it's no wonder that you either completely check out civilization, that you retreat to your goon cave where you've just got pornography and video games and resentful red pill podcasts that tell you that all women are the problem, or you gravitate towards the LGBT ideologies that allow you to achieve escape velocity from being a man, or you actually find identity in reclaiming masculine vitalism in some way, because you feel like if you can't be authentic, if you can't be virtuous in the Aristotelian sense, you must be at least continent. You must wear the personas of the past like some kind of skin suit until it becomes natural. And so that's, I think, the split we're seeing in Gen Z. We're seeing it between algorithmically driven resentment versus those people that want to reclaim something of the past, and that thing that they're nostalgic for but never actually quite experienced.
That's okay. There's a lot in there. But it really comes down to the fact that these guys are really grew up in a time where they don't know what they want, and no one's been able to actually tell them uh, what options that they really have. So they're kind of just really fumbling around in the dark, right? And this is the whole point where he also mentioned this whole not having any other male role models, even figures, despite the fact that there are men around. But there's also this thing that they're not given the tools to even know what to look for in terms of a father figure, or even know how to talk to someone who's older to say, I would like for you to be a role model. Let's be honest, if they're not trying to walk over to the Y or something like that, they don't really look at other people who are in the street that they, or even people they may see on a regular basis, to just say, listen, I'm honestly, you're someone I actually look up to. Like, that's not really it. In fact, I would even say that there are a lot of younger guys, they have a really big problem communicating to people who are older than them, just to even give a compliment or just say, like, I like what you're really thinking. Like, tell me more. Like, that's not really it. They'll take the small conversation that's happening and they'll run. They won't really sit there to really ask a whole bunch of questions. Some do, but that's not a majority of young people that I see. And it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a loss because there are young kids that you can look at them now, and I say kids. It's funny because the moment I said that, I'm looking at someone who's in their 20s, which is weird for me to say. But then also, what happens is that they don't even have basic skill, like just to build something small, to hammer something down, things like that. That's not necessarily something that they're taught early, and that was something that was just given to me early, like being with my grandfather, because there's really no other male figures around. Hold on. Locksmith, what is going on today? How are you doing, sir?
Doing all right. I got about 5, 10 minutes. I'm here to pick up my son. So yeah, masculinity. I think these little boys definitely need somebody who's definitely masculine instead of zesty. And you want my opinion? I'm gonna say that men need to be in these boys' lives. Masculine men. They gotta
Okay.
be shown the correct way of how a man should be. My opinion.
I mean,
Sorry to
yeah, I
just
don't think
jump
anyone's
in.
re- yeah, I don't even think anyone's really disputing that. It is something that's really needed, but the absenteeism of people who are particular role models, even if they're not necessarily fathers, is also something that's scarcely found now because of, quite frankly, the way how men are portrayed, not viewed, portrayed. And there goes a problem with that.
And whose fault is that?
It's multiple people's fault. It's from the people that say it, to the people who hear it and don't fact check it, to the for those people who spread it. There's a lot of firsthand information given, and it's wrong information. They don't No one checks, no back checks evidence anymore. They just go, they hear, I heard it from so and so, so it must be true. It's like that's how we even got to the uh believe all women. Like, just the first thing that flies out their mouth, just believe it. Why would they lie? Rather than go back and fact check.
we, we
It,
we know how much they lie now, right?
well, that's the thing. We've always known, but
Yeah.
to even state that out loud was an issue.
Well, to have proof now, especially with social media and these phones where you can record now, that definitely helped the fuck out. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
beforehand,
I,
nope,
I
woman
yeah,
couldn't go no wrong, right?
I believe that there should be mediums for men to be able to uh, become role models for young men. And when I say young
Yep.
men, I don't mean just pre-adolescents. Like, if it means an older guy, if it's a guy in his 50s, 60s, or even 40s mentoring someone who's in their 20s, I say go for it. Go for it. There's no wrong way to get the proper information that you need, the proper guidance to be able to navigate the world, rather than they wait till they get into their 30s and their 40s and they're still trying to figure out themselves. The most things that we look at as the basic things of survival, the basic needs of how to navigate the world. So this is something that the gentleman is saying. He's saying a lot of these guys are lost And then on top of that, instead of seeking out the information, they have nothing but distractions, which is why they get on porn, which is why, they don't really go out into functions anymore. They get take all the information that's just thrown in their face because of social media, because quite frankly, it's just to say someone in our age range, we were able to navigate the world because we also knew that the internet wasn't real life. These guys have grown up with the internet being thrown in their faces from being kids with the tablets in their face. They immediately look at everything online and think it actually is the real world.
And whose fault is that? Parents.
Uh it's it's the parents for one, but it's also their fault as well, because it's also their fault. It's also, I would say, education's fault, because no everywhere along the line, no one was actually giving these kids critical thought.
Yeah.
Critical thought was taken away from them. If they critically thought about where their time was going to, or how to actually formulate their own opinions rather than just follow the opinions of people who are influencers, and that's a very dangerous word because it says how much power that they have, they would be able to know or at least they would be able to a degree to say, I disagree with this and I don't think this is the thing for me, rather than, well, everybody else is watching it, so I'm going to watch it. Because over time, even if the message you don't like, if you hear it enough times, you might fall in line with the message. How many of us can do this great thought exercise right now? How many of us can say that we read books? Some will say not many, whatever. How many of us have read a book? Any book? Oh, everybody's gonna say at least one of us one time. Can you remember an entire page, just one page on a book? Like if I asked you to think about your favorite book, think about your favorite page on that book. Could you, from memory, read that entire page out to me?
Hell
The
no,
answer will
I can't.
the answer will be no. But let me tell you this. But tell me about the song that you hate the most. Do you know the entire lyrics of that song? You
Uh,
probably do. Think about
yeah,
it.
probably.
It's about 260 words on a page. It's about 260 words in a song. You will remember the song, but you won't remember the actual page from that book that you read. And the reason why uh the song sticks in your head versus the page is because of melody. That's how it sticks to you. Melody is actually what ties you to it. You're not really tied to reading a book because it's just all blank. It doesn't cascade, it doesn't make you feel. And that's what a song will do. So, if they don't teach you something in order for you to feel a way about challenging what you're hearing on a regular basis to be able to decipher, you're going to get caught up in it. You're going to get caught up in their message rather than your own. You have no defense because critical thought is a defense. And that's the point
Truly
that I
is.
believe this gentleman is making.
Yeah. It's so important, man. That's what I'm trying to teach my kids, my youngins. But I'm only granted an opportunity for so long. So I
You
do
make
what
the
I
most of it.
can, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, no cyber. That's right. 100%. 100%. Rather their moms like it or not, I am a masculine fucking man, and I am teaching my kids the way of the land.
And that's the most you can do. And you just hope somewhere down the line the lessons stick, the memories stay fresh, you know, and they're able to recount all the good times that they have, because those are the things that's gonna matter. It's the impact, it's the feeling that they get from spending time with you. That's what builds bonds. That's what builds a strong person. If they can only be told about all the good times that they had with you, but they can't really feel anything off of it, they're not gonna remember. That's the whole point. How do we do something that's meaningful that people feel? And the problem that we have with these particular the boys that we have now, that the guys that's coming up now, is that they don't really have that interaction with people. There's no real message really being drawn in. So a lot of them walk around rather aimlessly, letting other things influence them to have feeling to it. Uh, you don't remember shit. I don't think you want to remember shit either. If it wasn't meaningful to you, you're not gonna remember it. But I guarantee you remember all the trash songs that you hate. That's something that a lot of people have in common. But you can't read to me off that damn book. You can't read to me a clear page, every word on that book. Just saying.
Yeah, Uncle Tom's right. He can't remember shit. He couldn't remember that how well of a neighborhood he grew up. You know, he didn't come from the hood. He had green grass, shingles. I'm just busting chops, man. But hey, man, I appreciate the opportunity to come up. I gotta get off of here. I'm here to pick up my son from camp. But
No problem,
I'll
man.
holler at you guys later, man.
No
And
problem. Hope you
Uncle
guys have a
Tom,
good
don't
time.
you lie, man. Don't you lie. You had green grass, brother.
He gonna say his grass is blue. That's what he's about to say
Nah,
right now.
my grass
That's
is
fertilizer,
motherfucking
sir. So
yellow.
yeah,
What we doing?
Oh, it was not, man. We all saw them pictures, man. If you said blue, that's fertilizer, man. How can you afford fertilizer, sir?
Shit, me. It wasn't me. It was the person putting motherfucking shit on the grass. But nah, my grass yellow. Well, not now. It got some rain, so it's probably green now. Shit. No, I
We
don't remember
ain't
shit.
talking about now.
Oh, when I was growing up, everything was yellow because it was hot as shit. But rest of that's true. If you were to remember shit, I don't remember most of the things I fucking read unless it's dealing with history, right? Um, can I remember it verbatim? No. Can I remember a whole page? No. But I don't do that with music either. Like even half the shitty music I like or don't like, I don't remember it. I may be able to tell you, of course, but unless the song is on, I don't remember it. That's the only time I remember it if it's playing while I'm listening to it. You're muted. I can't hear you.
But again, if you had your favorite book, you still couldn't tell me that page. But the moment that melody comes on, that's what I say, because it ties to the emotion. Even if your emotion was, I hate this damn song, all of a sudden the lyrics come to you.
Yeah, but that's books are different though. You
There are
gotta
books.
be a book
There are books.
person.
Yeah, there are books that move people, but they still can't recount a page.
Yeah, again, some people do remember that shit. Me? Nah.
I have
That's the
not met
same
a
thing
friend
with
that can remember that whole
that's like
page.
shit me. One of my best friends who likes fucking theater books, he remembers every fucking book he has fucking read and knows pages verbatim. I don't know how he does it. I think he's autistic, but he does the shit. I don't know how. I can't do it because it's just like a movie to me. Once I look at it, I forget who's in it. I forget until I watch it, and I'm like, oh, I remember this. I may remember a scene, maybe, but few far in between remembering anything. And not a lot of shit moves me like that, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, that's
I'm
exactly what I
weird,
was
I
thinking,
guess.
Brad. I was thinking photographic memory. Because to say that you can remember every word on a page that's a tough thing for people to do. You'd have to have a
Dude,
photographic memory.
this motherfucker was amazing. Now, my thing is when I was younger, my brain was fresh. If I heard you say something, I can remember it verbatim. Everything you said. That's why I didn't never have to study for tests because if the teacher says, "Listen, this is on the test," boo boo boo, I don't have to read it. I just have to hear them talk and say it, and I remember it. But now, shit, me, I can't listen. I forget as soon as I say shit. It already gone up my goddamn brain. But that was, I mean, like I said, my brain was fresh, and I ain't have as many bumps and bruises and shit on my brain. I was good. Now I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, but you know, it is what it is.
What do
But
you
I
think
agree
so
with
far?
that. Everything said.
Yeah, what do you think so far about what the gentleman is saying?
Well, they're more liberal than me. They're from, they're from the UK.
He's from the UK, yes, and he's also citing what he understood from like Oxford studies.
I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with them as far as what they say. I mean, they do have truth in there, but I think it's more environmental for me.
Environmental
But
in what way? I mean, despite the
um,
fact of being a small island, the UK has strong demographics that can almost match the US. Like
absolutely.
their black population is still small, their Hispanic population is still small, the white population is definitely the majority. Like they deal with
I mean, for
immigration
what?
issues. Like
Oh, I mean, actually, their Muslim population is almost matches their white population right now. But I don't know, man. I need to hear more
I hear you.
so I can give you a definitive.
I got you. I got you.
But I'm listening.
Essentially,
I mean,
what you're talking about, Connor, is that basically men don't know how to be men. And that's a real problem, because if men don't know how to be men, then what we're actually talking about is people having a crisis of identity. And when they make up roughly 48, 49% of the population, plus they're stronger, plus they're more aggressive, plus they're more prone to violence, this is a pretty disastrous cocktail, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think this is being driven, and I've got some degree of sympathy for it until it turns malevolent. It's driven by a lot of insecurity and projection on part of people that are afraid of failing through the internet. So a lot of misandric feminism is driven by either people who have made terrible life choices and want misery as company, from older women to younger women, or people who have had poor experiences with men, and so as a maladaptive coping strategy are mischaracterizing all men as the kind of tyrannical abuser that they have encountered in the past. And this is the same thing for the Red Pill podcasts as well, which I don't think is a very healthy way of restoring masculinity. I think someone like Chris Williamson's far healthier than someone like Andrew Tate, for example. This is why I've written a piece before saying that Red Pill is actually a kind of sedative.
What's going on, Nightish?
I can't
How you doing,
complain.
sir?
How y'all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I
Right now,
like this conversation right here because a lot of the ladies in the space try to make it seem like misandry doesn't exist and that it's a one-sided conversation. They don't understand. They come in the room throwing rocks and then they wonder, well, why are you saying this about me? They don't understand a lot of things are reactions. And then they want to make you a trad husband or a traditional man when they're being modern. So they keep saying things like, when this person says this about women and this, well, it's both people fighting. You're saying that men are bums and they're not financially where they need to be. They're not educated enough and all these things. You flinging everything. And then somebody comes in the room and level sets and go, well, the ladies are bad too. You got to understand we both kind of on the same, it's a level playing field. You can't take the outliers or the exceptions and say that this is women across the board. And the same thing the other way. Everybody's not going to be LeBron and everybody's not going to be Oprah.
yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. The kind of things I was actually picking up from what he's saying is like, because he's specifically mentioning like Gen Z, but just like how lost they are because of just the same things that we saw. Like we saw it as millennials, the same thing that people saw it as Xers. Like how these things are still translating down, how it affects
Yeah,
them.
I think it's coming from generational stuff. Yeah, that your bitter aunt, your bitter grandma, and then the crazy thing about it is the house that you're in while she's complaining, your grandpa that passed early that you never met is the one who bought it. So whatever all he was, he left this property to her.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. So it looks like he's about to cover like basically masculinity when it comes to Gen Z and how lost they are in it. So I think that I want to know what he's going to say about that.
Proper male revolution.
Yes.
And I don't mean revolution as in just communist uprising. I mean as in a restoration of a forward-thinking and responsible and meaningful masculinity. And the reason they're doing that is a containment mechanism, because they rely on a cohort of men who believe that they cannot escape their own situation and blame an abstract concept of all women, the kinds of women that they see on the whatever
Yeah,
podcast or
it's the
something.
female version of the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, like the feminists have patriarchy, and these people have whatever, you know.
Yeah, literally whatever. The girls on the whatever podcast. Yeah, the emissaries of hypersexual culture, which is gatekeeping you out of having a family. If only these OnlyFans girls didn't exist, you would actually be married with a battalion of children by now. And that might be true for a couple of people who have fallen through the cultural cracks, but there is a large cohort of men that actually could do better, but instead they are spending their income on insulting women who will never know that they exist, and consuming this content to have their own worst fears about the culture reflected back at them, so they don't have to take responsibility and improve. And sure, that might be comfortable, but you will end up bitter, lonely, and dead. So it may not be best for you in the long term. But what those both things are aiming at, and this is something that Ivan Illich wrote about in a fantastic book called Gender, The Reaction from Feminists, very hot on this, I think they're right, is that yes, the feminists think that they are playing a zero-sum game against men for power, wealth, and privilege. And so they think that they are advantaging women as some kind of class by confiscating it from the tyrannical patriarchy that's gate-kept them out of institutions. But what you're actually doing is you're destroying the ambiguous complementarity that makes men and women attracted to each other. This has come about through a transformation in economic conditions where we're now both competing for the same roles and the same resources, rather than being inseparable members of the same household with different jobs, different responsibilities, and both attracted to each other. This is Neil Power's term, sibling economy. We have less Adam and Eve, and we're now Cain and Abel, and we're one.
That's very interesting. I don't expect him to really say these things, but he's not lying at all. It's exactly what they're seeing all across the board. You know, I'm trying to think about the thing he just said a moment ago. I lost it the moment he started bringing up the differences in the workplace, like how feminists looking at it. But he was saying something about the whatever podcast, and it's that oh yeah, I remember now. So he's saying that there might be a difference in men and women, basically, when it comes to if they were actually to start moving up in an economic sense or whatever. But as much as these men are complaining about the women, like say on the whatever podcast, the truth of the matter is that most of these women would not even acknowledge that these guys ever existed.
Yeah, I think that's a bad argument.
Well, if we follow the talking points that get put on YouTube when we say that 20% that women mainly follow the 20% of the men, the other men are just invisible, he's not wrong.
No, I understand that, but those women that's walking around with Dorito dust in their cleavage are not going to get those men. So those would be the women on here talking about the men that I want don't want me, and the men that want me I don't want. So that means you're choosing to be alone. Get your cats, right? So all of those talking points are kind of bad, and the people that they're following is leading them into a burning house on both sides. It's not good information.
Yeah, but they're going off a study, though, right? So
Tom, before you go, they go into all these studies, right? But it's some average people that need to go on here and be with some average people. You are not finna go find Prince Charming. He's not finna come right in on a horse. So you're choosing to have nothing. 50-50 mean you have less expenses. Call it a roommate if you want to. Do you want to be with a woman? Then 50-50 with her. Y'all gonna fight most likely because they say that same gender women situations is the most high DV. So if you're a lady, would you rather be with the bear or the lady?
Well, the study that they're using as far as that, where the men don't exist, comes from study that was done, I want to say 2021, where when a woman sees a man that they don't like or don't want, it's like they don't exist. But when a man sees like or not, they actually see the person. Oh shit.
Yeah, they did it off of dating. Yeah, they did it off of dating dynamics. Nightis, you know a lot of this already.
So the thing that's wrong with that is then Homosexuals don't exist. Kept men don't exist.
Sure.
What's his name? Jeremy Meeks didn't come out of prison and marry an heiress. Prison Bay, the light skinned dude with the tats on his face, married an
Yeah.
heiress. So
But
Ted
how many more
Korzynski got with Elizabeth Taylor. Yes, she was an old woman, but she paid for everything. She made him go lose weight and whatever else. It's too many of these kind of things, and they're not outliers. Britney Spears ended up having to give money to Kevin Federline. What's her name? London, the person that used to be a news analyst, ended up having to pay her husband alimony. It's too many examples of this. So these people, Mary J. Blige ended up having to give her husband money. Halle Berry ended up having to give her husband money. These men had less money than these women. So these things that people say they're extreme and they're just not true. It's too many examples where they're not true. But that's what I'm saying. People walk around like horses with blinders on and don't pay attention to their own life. You better get in where you fit in. I don't know why ain't nobody saying that. It might be an old saying, but lady, you are not Melissa Ford. You are not Ebony K. Williams. You're nowhere near that woman. Why are you repeating what she's saying? I want to marry a scammer. There's violence that comes with that. You could potentially not be here if somebody come after him and you're his woman. Listen to the things that you say, because you're all about money. Okay, that's cool. There's something that come with that too. You're starting to be exposed. You got your Diddy's, you got your Aaron Halls, you got your R. Kellys. So now you have the status and the money. What come with that? You want to go to Dubai? What come with that? You want to be an OnlyFans girl? What come with that? You want to be an OnlyFans girl and I had a stigma that's assigned with it. You want to do all this wild stuff and then somehow still be praised as if you're a good person.
So in the market where we look, because I agree with you, especially if you're looking at what people want to say, how you look at economically or whatever, that there are definitely along the range of people who are average who should be average, right? But in what way? Because we hear what ladies say, but apparently the message is not sticking. That they need to understand, because again, they're just like this guy said, they're basing their values to look at it basically like Cain and Abel, not Adam and Eve. They think that they're both the same. So how do you get
Exactly.
women? How do you get women on the page to have them understand that coming through with money, coming through talking about your degrees does nothing to attract the male?
You
Because they
respond to them
don't
the
get it.
same way they respond to men. If 80% of men are invisible to them, 80% of women should be invisible to you. If they know their worth, know your worth also. Because they try to make it seem like vagina is this, end all be all. Like they try to talk bad to the man with the money. You try to make it seem like your money is this end all be all. So it should be mutual. You should be honest with yourself. And the way they frame things, it may sound bad, but what do you really stand on? You have women out here lying, talking about they want a leader that they can tell how to lead. Well, you got to be a Christian. You got to be able to know how to check me, but it's got to be based on you're telling me how to lead. Then I'm not a leader.
Well, I'll ask you, like I say when I watch these panels, are all men leaders?
No, and they know they're not.
Tom, any pushback on that? Any words about that?
Not at all. It's true. Not all men are leaders.
I agree.
And they don't even want to be.
That's a
Because
fact.
here's the thing: the man that's saying he's a leader, now you got to stand on that. So, are you willing to tell her X, Y, and Z? No, you're not. You're gonna go along to get along and be in the same democracy that most of these dudes is in. You might end up in a sexless, you just doing all the work, got to get drunk before you come in a house situation.
I don't know why when we have these particular people in spaces, right? How the narrative is pushed, that most men are okay with being average, with living a comfortable life. They don't want to work themselves to the grave.
Yeah, because they watch their grandparents do that stuff. That's why I say, if a man has a home, a vehicle that's decent, and he's has work stability, that's not a roommate. That's the idea that is absurd. But that's the way to frame things. And they're saying that most people are right on the border of middle class, right? So they have things. So if you imagine if you, a woman, go be with that man and you do what you call as a 50-50, no, if he already owns a home, he already has a mortgage, he's already been paying it down, and you come in and contribute, you have more than what you have living in your sister house or your mama house or in a dorm or wherever it is you're doing. It doesn't even make
Absolutely.
sense. You're not looking for stability. You're looking for luxury. And it's about pageantry and vanity. Just be honest. And that person should be invisible to the average person.
I agree. I always find it weird that if you guys have the things that other people even wish they have, if you already have a home, you already have the, you already got the dog, you got the kids, if you're living comfortably, you're not worried about a bill. Why does it matter how much extra money that you can bring in unless you're looking to live in luxury? The thing that cripples people tends to be finances, and yet spending more money seems to be the agenda when it comes to some couples.
Well, the thing about this is they said anything after 100,000 is just a luxury, and it doesn't really change the fact of how you live your life, which I think is absolutely correct. I mean,
agree.
how much more shit can you pile on yourself? So my thing is, could I make more money now if I go to if I switch my job to the job that want me to be there? I will make probably 40% more money than I have now, but I'm working more hours. Fuck no. My life, my leisure time is way more important to me than just money.
I 100% agree with that. But most women I run into or even have dated, they're pack rats.
Yeah.
Yes, because they don't want one shade of brown. They want a 3-inch chill, a 5-inch chill. They want a brown. They want a honey brown. They want a light brown. They want a tan. They want all these versions of brown so they can sit at the door and what should I wear? What should, That's why I can go into a store and I can be in and out. Oh, these are all browns. Let's go. Well, they'll be in the stores. How do you like this one? Well, how do you like this one? How do you like that one? I like the first one. Why are we looking at all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Well, does it make a difference to you? No. If you want the other one, let's get that another time. Let's just get that one and go.
Yeah,
why? Because our time is more precious.
Well, that's another thing. Like moving around as if you got all the time in the world. You don't.
Yeah.
If we're ordering food from somewhere, right? If you know what I like, just get what I typically like. Don't read the entire menu to me. Don't do it. Don't, after you already know what I want, read the entire menu.
Yeah. And people don't understand when I say a lot of those things y'all call normalcy to me is a job. I said all that, going to parks and taking coolers and setting up grills and laying out blankets and putting up tents. That's a production. Going on trips, packing suitcases. That's y'all are saying that's life. That's fun for some people. I'm not a jet setter. I prefer to be. You mean I bought this big screen and this comfortable chair and all this stuff to never be in it? No, you got dudes mixed up. That's why it looks like a bachelor pad to you. No, that's what he like. He's comfortable in that.
Honestly, the minimalist life is not something that's really portrayed by women.
No, theirs is extravagance.
Correct.
The bed needs a duvet. It needs 100 pillows. And the drapes need to match the comforter. We have to have multiple drapes with the comforter.
I think it depends on the woman you get. That's why I'm glad I got the woman I got. Cause damn it, if she wanted all that shit, she better find someone to do it. Cause I ain't got time for that bullshit. I get the stuff I like. I know what she likes. If she don't like it, hey, get you what you want and call it a day. I'm not gonna sit there and chop with you. I'm not gonna go down to 17,000 aisles. I don't do that. I don't shop. I don't do none of that shit. So if I give you the money, you go do what you want to do with it, get you what you need, and call it a day. But
and
she's a minimalist too.
Yeah, it's not appreciated if you do it. Because I used to do this nonsense. I used to go and sit in the hair salon for hours sniffing
no.
chemicals. I used to
No.
walk down the aisles. I used to go to the damn places and buy dresses and sitting there and hold the purse and hold the kids. And all the women be looking at me and saying the wildest stuff to me. Oh, you got him trained. No, I'm here on my own volition, goofy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's a fucked up thing that women do say. So I'm glad I ain't got, man, listen, man. There's one good thing about this woman that I married. I ain't got to worry about going to no. I mean, I do go to the fucking nail salon or whatever, but that's because I'm getting my goddamn feet done too.
Right.
But it's like we go camping together. We go to the beach. We do shit that's actually fucking free. It don't take a lot of money. I'm like you, Nightish. I like my fucking house. Why would I buy a house and not want to be in it?
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
crazy to me.
And you
But
see all that stuff I did in my house. I made flagstone fire pits and benches and
yeah,
damn near a stage on the above with individual sheds. She had her she shed. I had my man cave. The kids had their clubhouse. They had play structure. So why are they going to boomers and bangers and dusters and all these different places? Because they can't be still. They got to be busy. Oh, we're going to the water, the inside tidal wave. We're going to. So why would they come back into this backyard then? Why did I spend all this time digging holes and building stuff and for a place they're never going to be? They was in that place when they were real little with their tents. After they got about
yeah.
8 or 9, they never even thought about coming back in that backyard. So all that space and so why don't we just empty all this junk out and turn that into a house and rent it out? No, well, I still need the she. So you just need all this space to hoard.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I need a house, but I want to travel all the time. Why do you need a
Yes.
house? Why do you need a house?
That ain't me, dog. That ain't me, man. I just like we do our camping and shit, but you see how we go camping like once every 2 years, it seemed like.
But they're
But
out there. They trying to go on a trip every month.
yeah, and
If
I ain't
not
got
twice a
listen.
month.
Yeah.
Ain't no way in hell. Hey,
And
the way
then
my life
that
is
ain't
set
even
up,
dinners.
it ain't happening.
And then not a dinner to, we just no, a dinner where you got to dress up.
Oh, that's a real dinner.
Yeah, so
What I
let's
call
go
them,
to
what I
dinner
call
like
them, the uncomfortable dinners. The uncomfortable dinners because you got to be uncomfortable to go to them.
You gotta
Yeah.
be uncomfortable. Yep.
And then it's well, why do you need an old fashioned when we go to dinner? Oh yeah, I need the old fashioned, maybe a couple. In fact, if we can go to a place and they got pictures of tequila, or if we can go to a place where they got a fleet of something, yeah, I'm gonna need that. Why? Because I'm here in the first place. I
That's
don't
a
want to be here. I don't want to listen to your girlfriends talk about the food. I don't want to be here. But in order for me to be there and smile and go along, I'm gonna need something to drink. So while
Smile
y'all
and nod.
talk, I'm gonna
Smile and nod.
smile, drinking.
Yeah.
He's not lying. He's not lying there. I'm like, I don't even want to talk. I just want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Nice? I was having this conversation with the dudes I was just golfing with, right?
Mhm.
I was like, I swear to God, if something happened to my wife, I'm not fucking remarrying. I'm not going to go out there and remarry no one. I'm not gonna, because you're not going to be what I had before. They're not. And they're going to want extra shit, especially with the way I'm in these YouTube streets and listen to the bullshit that goes on. Bro, I don't need that in my life at all.
And these people are just miserable. They're not happy.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
And they're choosing misery. I say to half the women I talk to, I hear what you're saying about me. Here's the thing: you're choosing sadness and loneliness. You would be happy with me. Not saying that I want you, but the fact that what you're saying to me right now, you would be happy with me, but you are choosing to be alone. And here's the cold part about it: it's a bunch of me's around you. So when you say, "Ain't no good men out here," no, they just don't want you. They listening to you. They don't like how they're experiencing you. I disagree. There are no good. They're everywhere. And they're not doing this stuff. No, you're coming to a specific niche place to argue with men about things. You are looking for it. You fell into this algorithm because you are the same thing. What you are receiving is information bias.
There you go. So, being that we see this already now, right? Again, you got these young guys that are coming up, and all the BS is being flooded to their head. It's one thing because we see it, and we've already seen it well before it got out of hand. We had to see it firsthand happen to us. We had to grow up with the bullshit happening to us. But these guys are just walking into it. They're woefully unprepared. And they're being saddled with all these messages. It's how we get all these damn male feminists that want to start, I'm with her. I agree with her too. Everything on liberal, just how they feel. You hear grown men saying this.
That mean they don't listen to him. That mean they not with her. Because she herself say, sometimes I just break down and cry, and I don't know why. You agree with her? You riding with that?
Tommy,
Sometimes I just get overwhelmed.
That is
you riding with that? Because what I like to do is when they come, they talk all that stuff, I just sit there. You can see stream after stream. I just listen, nod my head, and they go on and on and on and on and on. And I just say, okay. Then the next show, I play back. Now listen to what this lady is saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disagreeing with her. I'm not calling her the names. I haven't called her a maggle, a daggle, a 304, a hyena, none of these things. Don't even talk like that. Now look at what she's doing to me. So let me understand this. You don't know no good men. You don't know no man that'll listen to you. You don't know no man with patience. What am I doing right there? This is you talking. This is me. I'm completely silent. You're going on and on and on to the point where you go, oh, I've been talking this whole time. Is there anything you want to say on your own show? No, evidently not. Could you imagine if you had a husband and you did this, what you're doing right here? You wouldn't understand why he have to get lit before he get in the house? Because you already know you don't care nothing about him at all. You just need an emotional sponge to absorb all this hostility and venom you have for all the people that can't deal with who you are.
I've literally told women, I said, you don't really want a man. You want a companion. You should get a pet.
Yeah.
Don't waste another person's time. Yeah. Get a pet. Get your unconditional love from your pet. You spend your time with your pet. When you're upset, your pet will come to you. Don't waste another human being's time. Don't.
Yeah. So they come on panels with their pets. And then you don't have to say a lot of the things that people be saying, you don't have to say. You just say, look at this beautiful lady with this puppy. And she talking about how she's just alone and it's okay. I'm okay with it. This is look at the puppy got on footies and then got a shampoo and hair and been done up and okay. Yeah. Well, what do you think about it? I can see the insanity. Yeah, beautiful dog.
Damn
He's
dog
in the bed with you.
on shit.
Yeah.
Look how cute she is. This is what you spent the time on. This is what you spend all that money, and you think someone should take you seriously?
Well, they're ready for transhumanism. I think they're ready for the. They're going to get them a man robot that's fixed the specs that they want, and some of these guys going to get them they back 20-some years ago. Howard Stern had something on called the real doll. The flesh kind of felt real. It was
yeah.
could move around a little bit. Well, now the robotics can go into it and it can talk back to you. If they can get the body a little warm,
people gonna be in trouble. People gonna be in trouble.
Oh yeah, they just gonna choose the robot over you. They're already choosing the blow up doll over you, so of course they're gonna choose the robot over you.
Honestly, it's not gonna be a problem I'm dealing with. It's gonna be a problem that again these Gen Z.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for your nephews and nieces and children and all that other stuff.
Listen, that's their fight. That's their fight. It's not my fight.
And Hollywood has been getting you ready for it. They done made the movie about the man who's with the real doll. I think that was Josh. Well, no, what's his name? What's his name? Light-skinned blonde dude that was in The Driver. What's his name? I find out. Yeah, but they've already they've set you up for it, got you ready for it.
Yeah, I'm sure they try to make it look as sexy as possible.
Oh yeah. Well, it was kind of sad. I don't know how people could take that as sexy. It's kind of sad. I think that movie was The Driver he was in. What's his name?
So now you have all these Gen Zers who are now flooded with social media. Like they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't really have any proper quote men around them so that they can be able to understand how to navigate the world right now. And again, a lot of these guys are trying to be stuck in their damn home. Like reality to basically these young people is not appealing to them. Going outside is not something that's really appealing to them. It's not. So how like these guys are going to be stuck? Like I don't understand how they feel like they're going to be able to navigate the world if they think that being outside, being an adult is just too hard. It's too difficult.
So they'll have their Oculus and they'll imagine that they're in Paris.
Yo, the fact that you say that like my fucking my oldest son, I be like, dude, how? When I was your age, when I was 22, 23, 24, 25, hell, when I was 17, I didn't want to be in my parents' house, let alone sitting around this guy. Oh, hell no.
Did you do it with shaking the fist? When I was your age.
I should have said the shit like that because that's what it makes you feel like. You're like, nigga, you are not even exploring the fucking world that is right in front of your fucking face, dog. I don't get it. I look at them and I was like, it's like, was I a failure or are they a failure? Because this shit, it just doesn't compute.
Social media has made the basic world seem scary.
It doesn't compute to me, man. I look at them and just like
the supermarket, life or death.
Well, that's probably because of the cough.
I look at myself.
No, it was before that.
Bitches right now.
It was well before that.
Not having no type of fun and shit. Go be a fucking nurse, nigga. You know how many bitches is nursing right now? Well, you know how many bitches are CNAs right now?
Is it oversaturated?
Oh, absolutely. They say we have a nursing shortage, but I keep seeing numbers of nurses graduating in droves every damn graduation cycle.
Oh yeah, the Dawn movies with Ryan Gosling.
Now I would say that older nurses, the most experienced, they're the ones who are basically leaving now. But all these mid to new nurses, there's the influx of them. They have a lot. Whether you have capable ones that can teach, they're walking out the door. But there's no specialists. Specialists are not coming up. They all want to be nurses, not even RNs, just CNAs. Not travel, just regular CNAs. So there's no specialists. The specialists are still struggling out there. They're the ones still suffering for all not even a lot of like anesthesiologists like that makes money.
Nope. Well, they got the robots ready to do the jobs of the doctors now, right?
That's hard work, bro. It's gonna take you a little time to get that. It's gonna take you a little time to get that. They keep saying, I'm in the medical field, I'm a CNA. Bitch, you ain't no motherfucker. You are a glorified ass wiper. What are we doing there?
Correct. And
that shit killed me, bro.
Because they made because they pay so much money and they made that such a low bar, that's why you see so many of them.
Dude, the CNA is only a 6-week course, bro.
I hear you. And
it's but listen, it don't matter. Listen, it's a 6-month course where they get paid some decent money. They need to find another guy to make about the same amount of money. Now you go from making 60, 70,000 to making 140,000. Y'all got y'all little whatever. Let's just stay together. It's not that complicated. When they
Nigga,
try to make it more than that,
CNAs ain't making no 60,000. They barely lucky if they make goddamn 22.
where you at in California? The minimum wage is
They're around 60.
like
It-
$16, right?
and, yeah,
So nurses make way more than that. They're making around
No, I'm
between
not talking
25
about
and
nurses.
30.
I'm talking about CNAs. Ain't no nurse.
oh no,
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
nurse and assist. Yeah.
I'm talking about
Oh,
Mary
okay.
maids make 16. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you in an actual hospital, the hospital gonna give you more benefits and everything else, even if they pay you 16. So it's
Yep.
still like the same. It balances out. So
Oh
if you
man,
here
listen.
in California and you are a CNA, a basic thing, you popping.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
I'm
It's so
serious.
different here in New York.
Damn. I look at these bitches like they crazy.
We have so many CNAs. It's not even funny.
I used to shit on them bitches, boy.
There are a dime a dozen. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
Yeah.
go on your dating sites. It's not hard to find a nurse, guys.
So typically you have a nurse and a scammer together, and they like a power couple.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because them bitches is easy. Listen, for anyone to say that they ain't getting no pussy, they don't know where the nearest hospital is because them bitches is easy.
Well,
I
their eyes a little askew because they're looking for somebody out of their league, and the reason that person is out of their league is because they don't value themselves.
Man, them bitches don't value themselves. When
I'm
I was
talking
at
about
my
the
broker.
men. I'm talking about the men
Oh,
who
okay.
look
'Cause
at
I was,
these people don't value themselves. That's why these people think that they're so highfalutin.
man, this shit crazy.
A scammer know how to value himself, so of course that's a match made in heaven.
He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. He's flexible. He can do things.
He got time.
Yeah. You heard what what's her name?
Hey.
B Simone said.
Mm-hmm.
She don't want
Well,
no
B
9 to
Simone.
5 dude.
Yeah, B Simone's a fucking retard though.
Well, she in her late 30s now talking about she's practicing abstinence and she don't want to give her body to, I think she was talking about the baby because he won't protect her heart.
Absolutely
Why would you
not. I'm
think
trying
that
to.
the baby would have ever protected your heart? That's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that he was a viable candidate.
The people that they
shit's
choose to
crazy.
be with are on some, I don't know how you even describe it. He on some real red pill stuff. So if you know
Absolutely.
he's straight up on some red pill stuff, why would you think he's going to protect your heart? He's going to protect his. He going to do you like the Hodge twins say. He going to say 1, 2, get away from me, bitch.
Hey, have you seen the Hodge twins in person? Them motherfuckers are funny.
Are they?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I went to 2 of their shows. They're fucking funny as shit. They're funny as hell. Matter of fact, the last one I went to, like a group of black bitches walked out. Shit was so
What?
fucking.
They were upset?
Yeah, they were upset. They was mad, dog. It was mad because they got conservative values, but they did. When I say they raunchy than a some bitch, them niggas is raunchy than a motherfucker, dog. Way raunchier in person. Dude, I was dying, dog. Bro, that was the best $30 I spent.
Yeah, they
Bro,
started off like that before they got real conservative in the beginning. It was
yeah,
just straight up raw until YouTube made all these rules up and they couldn't do what they used to do.
yeah.
And then I
Motherfucker's
think
funny.
both of them was with Latinos.
One's with Latino, the other one I think is mixed breed. I can't if I'm remembering my correct. I know one for damn sure is with a border hopper.
Yes. You are right about that. One of them is.
But Yeah, I mean, they got older kids. Like one of the kids is grown. They do a whole lot of other shows, just other YouTube shit with their daughter and shit. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, I
pretty
see her.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
there's something been showing up in my feed. So a while back, I don't know if you guys know this, but I put a short up in my feed because Tasha K had a video that started going viral talking about how the Japanese country needs black men to show up to start helping them
And populate.
populate their country. And I'm just like, that sounds crazy. And I was going through it on my stream. I was like, why would they start requesting it? I didn't see any information or anything, but now I see that just came up on my feed here on TikTok. They over here talking about it again. I got other people now bringing it up. And then I was like, okay, so let me go take a look at some other stuff. And it's even put up by a lot of Japanese women that said that even if they have mixed feelings about particular Japanese black men, like most of the fear because we look big, we look intimidating, but every one of them said that basically they would throw it out. They would throw it out.
Absolutely.
Now, but here's my thing: if we're gonna be in those particular areas, right? As I put in my short, like, why isn't the Asian man holding it down? There's no way in hell that they're just gonna allow us to just slide through and just basically start eliminating their culture, their ethnicity.
They don't see it that way.
That's
why they built all that stuff in Africa, and they say that those military people over there is pushing them out. Them people ain't finna build all that stuff and stay away. They built all that stuff. The military's coming sequers, and the thing that's gonna happen next is they're gonna have to impregnate a bunch of them African women because Africa won't allow foreigners to buy that stuff. The way they're gonna have to own that stuff is through the kids. So they finna flood a bunch of people over there to get with a bunch of them African women to have kids to be able to stand on the stuff they got over there. And that'll be the justification to bring the military. Well, we're protecting the kids. We're protecting these families. Right now, what they did is gave them a bunch of
Chinese,
loans.
though.
Yes.
Mostly Chinese, though.
Yes.
But the Chinese are not asking for niggas. The Japanese asking for niggas.
The Japanese are, and
right. Their thing is they get all the loans and built all that infrastructure. They didn't build that infrastructure for Africa. Do they think they made all their money and all that other stuff to just leave it because the military is acting up? No. The first they're gonna be they have 100-year plans. We don't even have day plans. So we're gonna build the infrastructure, we're gonna build our homes, we got all these mansions and all this other stuff. Then the next phase is gonna be we're gonna send them in here, the men gonna start populating with the people. Now they got kids here. Now we're going to say, well, we got to protect the women and the children. Here come the military. You got all them people, and you got all them people that's soldier age. You're going to flood that place like they're doing with over here. They didn't buy all this property in the cloth to not do whatever they're trying to do here either.
Wait, but you're talking about Africa. Like, they don't have any reports of them having a decline in their population.
China is overwhelmed, but they can't stay in China no more.
Well, no, China's actually saying that they are in a decline right now. Korea is, and Japan.
Yeah, the women there don't want to mess with them.
Right, and it's funny that's happening in all three areas.
Right. So they're going to go somewhere where the women will want to get out of the shanty houses and whatever else. Well, you don't think African women is going to be down?
Well, Korea and Japan are actually offering incentive for babies. China's not, because China don't want black men.
Right. They're going to go impregnate African women.
They're already doing that. They've been doing that. No, they've been doing that. There's sectors over in Africa that have a lot of fucking Asian mixed breed babies, sir. A lot.
Because both Korea
it's getting more and more.
They want mixed breed. They want half babies. That's the term, half
babies. But that's because they women are protesting.
That's because they women love niggas. That's why. I just don't find them motherfuckers attractive. That's just my problem. I can look at anime and all the rest of them. I say that bitch is not attractive. No, just not at all. I don't get it. Y'all do y'all Asians. I just like, okay. I can't do it. It's
Now listen, I've been
I
with
know
some
you.
fire Asians.
I don't know. I ain't seen one yet. I ain't seen a fine Asian yet in my eyeballs. Man, I might be lying. I may have seen one,
All
but
these
I
years
just,
you only see one.
I, I just have bad experience with them. I hate the last name Patel because I can't.
That's Indian though. Yes, Asian, but it's
They
Indian.
still Asian, motherfucker. I hate them motherfuckers too.
They're
But
not
I just
Korean.
listen. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't find them motherfuckers attractive. I just don't. That look when
Oh,
I was in Hawaii.
so any Asian.
Yeah, I just don't. I just
Well,
don't.
I look at Indians completely different. I don't look at Indians like Japanese and Chinese and Korean.
Yeah. Well, I don't
I
look
don't look
about
at
the same, but I'm just saying. I was just being disingenuous, but I just hate the Patel last name. But when it comes to, I just don't find Asian females attractive.
I'm trying to
Just
think
like
about what
most,
Asian celebrities are there. I can't even think of none. Or the ones I think of
besides Lucy Wu or with Lindsay
are
Wu,
Lucy
whatever fucking
Liu.
name.
Lucy
Lucy Wu,
Liu.
yeah. She wasn't attractive at all.
Jesus Christ,
Motherfuckers,
she said she wasn't
they
attractive.
no people tried to say she was attractive. She wasn't.
She's very thin. And
Very.
I'm
Well, a lot
more
of
into a more of a
Asians
voluptuous
that's
woman.
their culture that they like to go for that thin, pale look.
Sir, if I wanted a little boy, I would have got with a little boy. Okay, that bitch. I mean, goddamn, she look like an 11-year-old little boy. What are we doing here?
So that's why when I hear dudes talking about, and they have to be 135 pounds for you, buddy.
Shit, me. You gotta have at least some titties, nigga. I can deal with the without the ass as long as you got good thighs, little thick, meaty thighs. Woo!
There are women who are Japanese and even Korean. I don't know about Chinese, but who are definitely.
I know. I seen them, but that don't mean they
That's just not the
face look
culture
good.
being pushed. That's not the culture that's pushed though. That's all.
And then some about them, when they get to a certain age, they all start looking the same.
Yeah, that's true.
See, the problem is a lot. No
Listen, that's
disrespect,
at
no
the age
disrespect.
of 4.
Listen,
At the age of 4.
A lot of them start looking the same.
At the age of 4, they all look the
seeing,
same.
I be seeing sisters that be like 30 something. I'd be like, you know, why are you buying me? And they would say, I'm 32. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you was like 17, 18. That's how the age and different. But when I see some other people, they be in their 30s and I'd be like, oh, this is an old lady. And they'll tell me they're 30 and I'm like, damn, what happened to you?
You did not age
not
well.
A lot. Yeah, some of them defy it, but not a lot. Because I met a woman, I swore that she was in her like late to mid 30s, and the chick was in her 60s, and I was just like, get the fuck out of here. And you would never know.
What nationality was she?
She was Japanese, and she was dressed like these young girls too, but she looked dead young. I was like, wait, what? But that's not a lot of them. She was that one oddity for me.
So you like them Asians? You like the Asian persuasion?
I've dated Asians. I've dated a lot of different people, so it doesn't matter. I like women in general. So
I like women in general, but there's just something about. I mean, there's just something about Asian women I just don't find attractive. I don't know what it is. I still know what it is. Most of them to me just look like little boys. It's like, where your body at, bitch? Get it. Fuck your body at, nigga.
So I've dated a chick who didn't really, as you would put, didn't really have body, and I've definitely dated like 2 other ones that definitely had body.
Okay.
They and here's the funny part about it, because they on the thicker side, the ones that are all small are like, why won't you choose me? I'm like, because I need something to grab onto. I need pockets. Like
your ass bony as motherfucker. God damn it. And listen, when your body the size of my wrist, dog, we can't.
And I'm really different on that. Like, cause like I like if I'm gonna pick Asian, I like them to have some little dark skin. I like them to have, like, I don't want them pale.
Oh, so you
I
want the
like color
darker
on them.
Asians?
No, I like color. That's all.
Okay.
I dated one who was pale. It was no problem. We were good and everything, but then
So she had the Asian white skin.
in wintertime she was super pale. And in
That's
the
that porcelain.
summertime when she drank and everything, she was red as a motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But I'm the same
I
way
don't
when
know,
it comes to
man.
like Indian women. Indian women, I prefer them are darker skin than that whole light skin trend that they on. I prefer them darker skin.
I don't like knowing his last name is Patel. I'm sorry.
Fucking
If you even
Patel.
look like your last name Patel, we got to fight or something.
It look like the last name Patel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some attractive Indian women though.
Okay. My name was Patel. Should have punched him in the throat.
Yes.
I don't know what the name
CCD.
is.
I have been with a redhead. She's actually
my
Irish,
God.
and I met she was actually one of the people that I like because she played rugby. She had a girls team on rugby, but she was the only girl of freaking four brothers, and they were just too much for me. They were too much. They were just doing the most.
I had my fair share. So I ain't gonna lie, mine is blondes and redheads. I always been that way, but mostly I've been with more blondes than anything else. Yeah, hands
only
down.
dated 2 blondes, and it wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay.
Again,
Blondes
that was just personality.
Blondes have more fun, sir. Blondes have more fun, sir.
They had more fun alone because they didn't do it with me.
Now I've had my fair share of black women. I stick to more of the light skinned blacks because that's just me, and that was my whole thing.
What song you think I like? You think I'm into the light skinned chicks?
I think.
Say again, Tom.
I've had me a couple. Like we just.
I don't know. Nightish.
I had my share of chocolate. And
they just the ones I've met just have been overly dangerous, overly aggressive.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
For some reason my fucking Bluetooth keep going out.
Yeah, it go out, then it come back in. It like drown out a little bit and then come back.
Yeah. Most actually, like I said, outside of my chick now, I've dated, but I've never actually settled down. This is the first chick that I've actually settled down with. We've been together for years.
Yeah, I don't know if it's bad luck or what it is, but every dark skinned chick I've ever messed with
just has
been extremely aggressive, angry.
Yes, I will agree with that. I had this black chick that I wasn't even dating, but this bitch wanted to be in my goddamn life so bad. But she would just walk up to you, hey, cuz, hi, hitting me and shit. I'm like, bitch, if you would fucking hit me, dog.
Yeah.
That shit is so annoying. Oh my fucking God. She did not try to tell her. And when you tell these motherfuckers, they just don't listen. Like, that shit is not cool. I don't want.
Wait. Uncle Tom, you're not a leader?
Oh my God.
No, not with that bitch. Absolutely not. I try to tell this bitch, listen, like this. Don't no man want you to fucking be their bro or hitting them and shit. That shit is not sexy at all.
That shit
is
crazy. Don't do that to me,
bro. And I just she was the only thing is she was cool as fuck. She just that whole bro, what's up, bro?
I need you to be one of the guys because I don't date dudes.
Man.
That's just straight up.
You sit them down and you be like, look, no man that I know likes that shit. I don't want a bro. I don't want none of that shit that you think is cool.
Here we go. What's good, OG?
Man, what's popping with y'all, man? Y'all up here cutting up. Y'all was cutting up, bro. You know what I'm about to say, Tom. Say, man, you know who the best, dog. You know where to stand at. Yeah,
that white ill nah. You goddamn right.
It's like
Nah,
I want to say no, but to this date, that still is my longest relationship. So I want to say no.
I mean, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to come up here and fuck with that nigga Tom crazy ass. No, y'all conversation
I just want to say
good,
no,
though.
it's not. But I'm like, I look at my girl and I just keep counting the clock. I'm like, not yet. So,
well, listen, I say it like this: it's either all white L99 or a mixture of.
oh, I can't.
Yo. But no, I mean I've had some good relationships with some others. I had a decent relationship with a Latino, but she just got on my nerves after a while, and I just she basic bitch. That's what it was. I think she was just too basic for me. I don't know. You know how you had those relationships where it's just like there's no excitement at all, none. That was my Latino one. That just had no. It was like, we're here, you can lead the bitch to water, but you can't make her do nothing. That was her. So fucking boring. I hated it. It was. I think we lasted probably about a month and a half, and I was done with that.
Actually, it's funny. It's funny how I never really locked out with Latina shit because most of those relations were great. I don't know why they never really went forward. I guess because we were just too chill. We got along well, but we never really locked it down.
That bitch was bland. That's what it was.
I mean,
she was bland. And now I had one that stabbed me with a fork and a butter knife, and I
oh no,
that bitch was violent. And a butter knife. That bitch was violent. I had to do violent, especially if I can't cut you back.
Most of the women I've dated are Spanish. It's just like, but it never really locked down.
I had something I wanted to ask you guys on the panel. When y'all was talking about the women earlier, and y'all was talking about the situation that everybody's in, and why they're not looking at it why they're not seeing things a certain way. Y'all don't think that's a self-reflection thing? Because I heard some key points on
self-reflection. So in what way?
On like
yes, it is. Okay, OG, it is.
Okay, because I mean, like these talking points on here. That first they go to all is what y'all didn't say it, but what I hear on here is your body count, then you go to your looks and then all that. But then you have people on here, like y'all was saying, that tell you differently. And they had this opinion based, type of discussion on here. And it never has a solution to it. But I think it's because they don't never want to self-reflect, look at themselves in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
The money, there ain't no money in the cure.
Okay.
So that's why you don't hear solutions. You just hear about the symptoms and they might give you some placebo, but they're not going to give you no solution because if you actually get the solution, you don't need them no more.
I mean, think about it, OG. If doctors were actually curing patients, you wouldn't have anybody coming in the hospital. The hospital ain't making no money. You got to keep them on treatment. You can't cure them.
That was Dr. Sabi's point. So most of the medicine you taking is messing up something else in you. So it's curing this and damaging that. So then they're going to have to put you on some medication because the medication that you use, and before you know, you got you one of those day planners with 9-10 different pills you got to take.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's why I refuse to take medication except for my seizure medicine.
This nigga crazy.
Hey, I'm telling you, Resla and OG, that shit worked.
This nigga here, bro. I knew it would. I knew you was gonna find out, bro. I told you, bro. Fucking take Jones, bro. You don't be listening to me.
I woke up, that shit said, yeah. I was like, oh shit. Woo! Then I went and played golf. But hey, I gotta get out of here. I'm about to go see this white woman. Y'all have a good one, man. Nice conversation, though.
Salute, sir.
To try to touch on your point, OG, of what you were saying earlier, a lot of it is basically there's a lack of confidence. There's a lack of confidence, but it's also that they feel like they're inadequate. There's a lot of self-inadequacy, and that's where they reach everywhere. A lot of people don't do a lot of self-reflecting. It's easy to point the finger at somebody else. Rather than look at themselves first, they point the finger at everybody else. It's all these women. It's all these men. But start with the person in the mirror. If you good on your side, you ain't even got to point at anybody else. Hey, I'm good on my side. I'm just waiting for the person that's ready on their side.
I just know for the majority of my childhood life, it was niggas ain't shit And I didn't hear bitches ain't shit until probably I was 14, 15. Then the next time I heard it, Snoop said it. But they always use that reference about Snoop. But Snoop starts the song off saying, I once knew a bitch named Eric Wright. Eric Wright is Easy E.
Mm-hmm.
So he ain't even talking about a woman. He's just talking about the bitch attitude. But the first person I heard say bitch was Too Short, and that was 84. So my thing is this: if you didn't heard for 14 years straight, niggas ain't shit, and then you eventually turn around and go, oh, I'm a nigger. Oh, she talking, oh, okay. So all these years we didn't heard Negro please and nigga please and niggas ain't shit and all this other stuff repetitively over and over again in comedy skits and movies and everything else. At some point it might affect you. It's garbage in, garbage out. So now that we're hearing it from both sides, bitch, 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 you know, you ain't this, you ain't this. Okay, so now we in that gender thing. But if people really pay attention, it equals each other out. So when the level setting happening, they say that that's talking down about black women or women in general. No, it's what we do. We are not proactive, we're reactive. So black power wasn't a thing at first. At first it was all about white power. So instead of being proactive, we reacted and said black power. So the women came out saying blah, blah, blah about the men. Instead of being proactive, we got reactive and said, well, the women do this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's bad the moment I start hearing people, what about the women? I go, wait, why would that ever fly out your mouth? Why? What are we doing here? Because that's what we hear on the other side. So why don't you act a little better than that? It's not a male thing. Like, why would you do that?
Because they don't understand it came from the men first.
Like
some dude said that you was a lame. Some dude said that you were short. Some dude said all this stuff that the women are now repeating. So instead of you talking to the dude that said it all, you talking to the lady. Here's the thing though, some people are genetically different. They come out with a six-pack. They can eat everything and won't gain no weight. They have no problem with lifting weights and whatever else. So that's a genetic thing. All men aren't created different. So you are you and you do your thing. Some people are big no matter what they do.
Yep. Agreed.
They work. And if they eat one piece of candy, like a puffer fish. So when they try to make it seem like, oh, anybody, just anybody. No, not everybody. You got to find your tribe, and hopefully your tribe can understand and appreciate you.
Which is why there's a phrase that I constantly jump on. And OG, you already mentioned it. You already know the phrase. Yeah. The phrase I jump on all the time when I hear it, because it's a talking point, it's a narrative, is when I hear the phrase, as a man.
Yep.
Anything that follows after that, you hear everybody pretty much, their senses, their ears point up, like they goddamn Dobermans just up, because anything after that, you're gonna see a whole bunch of men on the panel have to validate to that man why they agree or whatever.
Resla, who defines you?
I do.
There you go. That's what a man is, where he makes himself.
But they go around panels validating themselves to the man who triggered them first.
It's because they don't. Again, that's what made me came up here and say self-reflect, because I heard y'all talk about the OnlyFans people, and they don't want to. It's cool making the money, but they don't want the title. You know what I mean? They don't want what comes with it. And when Nighter said that, I was like, that's right on point. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to see themselves, bro. They look at themselves, bro, at this high earning person. And anybody else who do anything else, bro, in this world, bro, that you can't look at it and be like, I'm doing something. You know what you're doing or understand what you're doing, because it's always going to have a ripple effect to it. You know what I'm saying? So these people that do that, they don't want to look at themselves as a worker. They just look at themselves as a high earner. You know what I'm saying? So, and even when it comes to like just a regular person, bro, I heard people talk about regular people, then you got the high value people and poor people and all that. Like I said, you know how I feel about that. It's different classes. I get that. But when you talk about poor, we ain't nobody over here poor like that. I don't see nobody. You could even say somebody that's homeless. Like we had a conversation about homeless folks and why they out there, and well, why do we think they out there? We gave our thoughts on it. But if you think about the people that's out here in the world that's not living a life, living a potential.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is, you know what I'm saying, they're not doing the stuff that makes them happy, do the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, puts them in a good light, anything like that. Anything that's hidden is like in the dark, that's what they basically go for. You know what I'm saying? That's they go to. That's they secret. That's that part they don't want to show nobody. But they can get online and be the best person you ever seen in this world, not knowing their flaws. They have fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So they got to find, even when they go look for somebody, that's the problem they run into, is they can't find nobody who's like them. They think and play good, but they're a scammer in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Knight has made a great point. Like, because here's the thing about it. I'll go into the point where you say class. If most of the people just even looked at where they were in their class range, they will realize they can find someone easily.
Yeah, but they don't want to self-reflect, because if they self-reflect,
they don't want to acknowledge where they at.
They gonna see the person in their class and look at them as, like Nighter said, beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
They looking upwards, bro. And this upwards vision that they doing, they ain't even got the wherewithal to go get it. They don't have the attitude, they don't have the looks, they don't have nothing. So this person is gonna be looking at you how you was looking at the person that was just on your same class. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah. That's the way how I pretty much look at it. A lot of people, I'm just like, I need to. And then, like I said, now you got these young people that are coming in. They're lost. They're not really sure where they want to go with themselves. They're not really sure what they want to do. And I get it. I get it. But at the same time, it's like there's not enough people to be able to help you. And that's why they're lost. They can easily get influenced by someone like Andrew Tate. Even if, let's just say, even if you went ahead and like you followed someone like Jordan Peterson, right? If you're not listening to his message in a very healthy way, even you can take a lot of things that he says out of context. You could. Because he brings a lot of religious aspects and stuff, and not everybody's religious.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to read one of his books? I got 2 of his books. I think it's a hard thing to read. I'm not gonna lie. Great stuff that's in it once you're able to seriously go through it, but it's a hard book to read. It's good books. Don't get me wrong. It's very wordy. Very, very wordy.
Yeah,
and a lot of people, like they might read that book, they might not. Maybe they get the cliff notes or whatever. But let's just be honest. That's all the people that's really invested. We're not even really talking about people who are like Gen Z. They're just coming up or whatever. Because they just want to do, or rather follow what they think is fun, which is, I guess, I don't know, asking girls questions online. I'm going with social media stuff, asking girls questions online and doing dance videos. Because outside of that, or doing reckless shit, doing debauchery. Because outside of that, I'm not seeing anything really productive. I'm not. And that's why I just say we should go back to a point where we really need to figure out for people critical thinking. They're woefully unprepared. They're not going to walk into college and learn anything more. That's even if, because as we see already from the males, they're not really going to college. When I see an abundance of black young guys out there, they're not going to trade schools. So what are they doing? Because they're not going to college either. So what are they doing? They in the streets.
Yep, trying to get to the binag. And that binag ain't the right space to be trying to, the streets ain't the right place to be trying to get the binag. I can tell you that much. I mean, it's not, it's like a, really on the cool, it's a -%, bro, that you even make it from the streets. So most people, I don't know why people believe this story, bro, that you can just do anything you want to do in the streets and then get out the streets like that, bro. That shit don't work out like that. Especially if you deep into it and you so-called what everybody believe is a big person, kingpin and all this shit here. These niggas never get out of this shit. And when they do, they leave in boxes. So people is just, I don't know, these movies and this other stuff that they add into these reality TV shows that people watch, bro, got their head twisted all up. And it's the same way we look at society when it comes to criminals and everything else. They don't look at or pay attention or even have the thinking to know what's right and what's wrong and what somebody's doing. They always reference something off a goddamn movie. And that's the problem I have when people think about, like, you know what I'm saying, oh, this person is a bad person. Well, you got that shit from a goddamn movie, bro. Like, if you, and I understand, and like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I'm only talking about on people with the stupid points that say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like somebody who sells drugs. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there is something stupid to say, because we all know that's right. You don't supposed to be selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? On the streets.
Those are your influencers.
You know what I'm saying? But exactly. So go ahead, Mayo.
I got a little pushback to a couple of points. All right, let's not act like in past generations there were booths, advice booths, with old men smoking corncob pipes, handing out worldly advice to whoever walked up to them. Didn't happen. What you see today is people so afraid to fail that they're paralyzed.
Agreed. I literally said they wouldn't even walk up to guys who they even see are smart or would give them wisdom. They won't ask questions. They literally just stay at home, and they'd rather just be indoctrinated by what's going on online.
Yeah,
they're not
they're so afraid of failure.
Agreed.
That they never move forward.
Yep.
And that's why the question came up. All the knowledge of the world is available to them.
Right, but that's what the question came up. I think it might have been either. I think it was Nightish, but like, what happened with the kids? I'm like, that's why they were in. They got stuck on their phone as kids, babies or whatever, infants coming all the way up. But critical thought was never something put in front of their face ever. So they've been, if anything, they've been growing up in front of a screen, and the screen's been giving them anything, which is why it's so different from people who are older and grew up with the internet, because we already had an idea of what we wanted. And we had that catered to us. They got everything thrown at them. And basically, at some point, it was like, you don't need to think for yourself. We'll give you everything you need to. And you just follow.
You've got a generation of kids out there who have never not been around a parent for more than an hour. Or an adult. To where generations before that, they were lucky to spend an hour or 2 hours a day with a parent or an adult. These kids never had to figure anything out for themselves, even as kids.
If there were apps like these, like the Oculus and everything, if they were there all day and they wouldn't know how to walk unless it told them how to walk, they'd be stuck like that. let that thing die one day. They would I don't know how to walk without being told where to go.
But y'all don't think that was picked up, though?
Let DoorDash go down for a couple of days.
Y'all don't think that concept was picked up, though? Because I thought that concept was picked up. Before my age of being born, I can give credence to what Mayo was saying. I didn't seen it. It's documented, bro, that, you know what I'm saying, what Mayo said, some of these parents, bro, they work their ass off, bro, so they didn't get to see their kids as much. But then you do see, again, just where it comes to their class, bro, because you had some class, bro, where them niggas, all the thing they did was spend a certain type of class of people, bro. If you wasn't at the lowest level, you had time to do all that, and that was the end all be all. And people start shaming people on, oh, you don't spend enough time with your kids. You don't do this. You're not around them all the time. So eventually, it was a change that came, a domino effect. That some everybody now look at. I'm just saying. But even if you say some, the standard is what it is now. People still look at that right now, and our generation is going to. We didn't lost something that I noticed. What Mayo was saying, we didn't lost it in my generation. Even though we had our parents around and they worked and we spent a lot of time with them. Now these new kids that's coming up behind us, they not even. It's like it's reverting back to what it was, because some of the parents, if you're real low on the totem pole, you're not even there. Those kids are the ones that they say is left at the house alone. The ones that ain't doing, but the other ones. Yes, but the ones they said that's the most involved in, guess what them motherfuckers is doing?
They the ones staying at home in their 20s.
I don't know about that, because we just watched the video with Uncle L the other day. This woman hopped out the motherfucking car, went crazy for her 17-year-old in that, what you call it, I mean, I'm seeing more and more of this, bro. Like these are the ones, bro, that we're saying that was back in the day that was kids that's now changing what their parents did to them. And when they did that to them, they trying to be better than what they was. So they didn't push themselves up into that domino effect to where the only thing they want to do is be around their kids. But the thing is, Mayo, I'm not saying that you're wrong and then I'm just adding on to what you're saying because they're not parenting. Even though they're around these kids are still out here wilding. And
no, they're their friends.
Yep.
well, yeah, that
There
too.
you go.
You know what I'm saying? And you being a kid's friend is not good for them if you're not giving them the direction of parenting.
No, friends is for your 30s and 40s.
Well, I don't even.
With your
Again, I
parents.
didn't even see that. I
After
didn't even
you've
see
already
that.
established yourself, you know what I mean?
I didn't even see that, bro. Like in my family, bro, we they don't even do that. You ain't friends with your parents, bro. When your parents are still the end all be all, bro. You don't.
Not at all.
I still got
Oh, yeah.
cousins 8 years older than me. That's my brother in them age that won't even smoke weed or a cigarette around their parents. And then they kids don't even. It's a ripple effect that everybody is doing it. But some of us we didn't broke that because we so used to we had those parents that was different. If you're going to smoke, we don't want you out here doing nothing. That's you know what I'm saying? Like everybody else, them niggas just snuck out and did it. Some of us had people that was like, you know what? If you're gonna buy it, I'm gonna make sure you buy it from this person because I know they ain't gonna give you no fucked up product. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do it, we're gonna make sure you have this, make sure you have your own money. I ain't paying for your shit. Like that's the type of shit because they understood as then when they was kids, bro, they went through the same thing. And the thing that they went through was they had that parent that was on them to the point, bro, where they didn't have that reason of thinking like, well, damn, let me go. If I know somebody in my family that sells it, I can at least get it from them. At least I know it ain't gonna be laced with no stuff that's gonna fuck my child up out here and his friends. At least he can smoke in the backyard. Now I know I gotta make a decision. I know it's wrong, but he gonna do it anyway. Like I didn't call him already. He already been doing it. He keep on doing it. Now let me figure out a solution to this. But when you talk about some back in the day, they didn't do that. Then you had other people like, well, go ahead.
You would never back in my day, you would never find a parent that would let their kid have sex in their house.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
There was rules. If you still lived in the house, they didn't care if you were 18. You had a curfew. Because you wasn't coming in to mom and dad's house drunk at 3 a.m. Mom and dad weren't having it. But you left. You left home so you could have that freedom. But these kids now don't have any rules. And their parents are the ones who defend their bad behavior.
That's correct.
The parents is the one that changed the rules.
Nowadays, especially these single moms, are afraid to be alone.
Like I say, man, I don't see how it don't make sense to me for, like Mayo just said. Not what he said didn't make sense. I understood what he's saying. What I'm saying, it don't make sense to me for a parent. Your mother tell you, I don't want no boys in this house. Don't you have no boys in this house? Don't you be having no sex in this house? And you see the effect of that. You still try to bring a motherfucker in. You do all this other shit. Now, this is the tricky part. Now, when that person get older, their philosophy is, well, my mama tried to stop me from having motherfuckers over. I still brought motherfuckers in. So now I got a daughter. She 12 years old, 14 years old. Now I'm allow her to have a boyfriend in the house and then allow them to kiss and do anything they want to do in the motherfucking bedroom. How do you see what I'm saying? How did that make sense, bro? This is the effect that what I'm saying is it goes downward, bro. And it seemed like it's a good solution base, but you can't tell me, bro, it ain't parents out there that got letting their kids date and he can spend a night. The fuck you mean spend a night a school night?
A lot of that shit happened with my generation. There was a group of girls, high school senior girls, who went down to Florida for spring break. And they all came back pregnant. Every fucking one of them. But for the next 8 years in high school, guess what? Nobody let their daughters go down to spring break in high school.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like I said, I look at the way how they're moving now, and I'm just like, you guys, You guys got to figure it out. That's why when people are like,
Well,
oh, so what do we do about
Yeah.
them now? I'm like, they're gonna have to figure it out. There's nothing I can do. Nothing.
and that's the thing, though, right? We got to figure out shit because we didn't have parents hovering over us all the time. We figured out our social order on the playground and on the street. We figured out early on where we sat in the order of things. And these kids in their homes are taught that they're the most special, bestest thing that ever existed. And when they get out in the world and find out they're not,
World messed up. Whole world messed up.
Well, I don't think. I think that shit came from, like I said, the super rich folks that had them damn sharing. Now, just check me out, because nigga, it goes with these goddamn celebrities. I
he
see
is
them.
kind of correct here.
They kept them kids, and that motherfucker has a standard, bro. I'm seeing them. I see celebrities right now, bro, with 34-year-old kids talking about nigga. I still look at Diddy. Kids still live with them. These people think they rich like this nigga, bro, where they can still let their kids stay in their house, nigga, till they 30, 39, 40. Bro, you been taking care of this motherfucker for 40 years. Ain't got out, ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mayo, my fault.
Oh, like remember that show on MTV, Sweet 16?
Oh yeah.
And they show 16-year-old girls getting freaking Maybachs and shit.
Oh yeah. You think they're gonna leave
And
the
an
house?
entire generation of parents and their kids grew up watching that.
Yep.
Because number one, there wasn't but 15, 16 years between them.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Which is another issue, which is another issue.
There really weren't no old folks on there. They were all young celebs, and they were just doing them. I mean, $100,000.
Oh yeah,
Your kid
Sweet
is not
16
making
parties,
that.
birthday parties.
Your kid ain't making no $100,000 at the age 22, sir. Even if your kid's 16, how you expect your kid to keep on? And then every year it kept on going up, going up, going up. Like, bro, yeah, bro, you think these kids is gonna ever leave? But these people in the world, a regular person works a 9 to 5, works his ass off, sees that, and like you said, been seeing that for years, Mayo. That shit was. I was little when that shit was on MTV. You know what I'm saying? And now the result of that is they don't have to leave. They can stay there because it's just like them. Well, I'm gonna let my kids get on their feet. Well, okay, your kids got on their feet should have got on their feet a long time ago. When you was younger, your mama them kicked you the hell out. You worked so hard to get on your feet that you prospered in life to the point now you got the means and the wealth to take care of a grown 40-year-old. That is crazy.
Well, I don't think that they should be going in that. It should be going in that long. But I will also say, like, it wasn't the same when I left home versus how I see what some of the younger people have to deal with now. With one decent job, I was able to take care of myself, and I see them doing way more than that. And again, I it's not fair, like, because I was born first or I have other skills that are more than what they have, but I do see that, like, there are people out there who, like, there are young kids out there who are working like 2 full-time jobs to do something medium because housing is just so expensive.
Yeah, but people used to leave home.
Yeah.
They don't anymore.
Well, I mean,
I mean the geographical area they grow up in.
Well,
they're afraid because they're afraid of failure. Because everybody thinks, oh, housing, and all this is cheaper. Man, everybody I knew was living, 5 people to a 2-bedroom apartment.
Oh, that's looked down upon, Mayo. You can't do that in our society.
Well, you can't do that now.
What?
Everybody get kicked out now.
What?
No, but you got an entire generation that has never shared a bedroom with somebody.
Oh yeah, they ain't never slept on the floor.
No.
I guess from where I'm at, like you can't get a place by yourself. Like you have to roommate.
Yeah, some
And
people don't
before you
understand.
had to roommate uncomfortably.
Yeah, people you didn't know.
Yeah, people you
Dirty
don't know.
folks. Yeah, dirty. No, they're dirty
Yeah.
folk.
Yeah, most people who move in like they're strangers. They're not friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got kids now, they're just afraid to, because they at their house. They're allowed to come and go as they please. They're still provided with food and money from their parents.
Yeah.
You know, and their parents don't charge them anything, which is another issue,
Which
I
is
think.
also a problem. Yeah.
You know, make them pay rent.
Yeah, I definitely paid rent.
You know, make them add money for food, electricity, and all that shit, instead of them just having their whole paycheck to fuck off with.
I don't know. It's a different game, but at the same time it's the same game.
Well,
And
I
I
think
just
they're,
wonder
yeah.
what's going on with the older people.
Well, they're afraid to be alone.
Oh, they're gonna figure that out because it's gonna happen regardless of how they feel about it.
And not really.
No, not really.
No, dude. They're nowadays these kids in their 40s are still living at home. Their parents are 80 or in their 60s to 80s, and their parents die, and they continue to live in that house. We're coming up on that.
They'll be in the house trying to figure it out. They
Yeah,
won't have any skills.
I don't see it changing no time soon, bro. Because like I said,
No.
if it's gonna get worse than what it is, then yeah, it's gonna be a point, bro, where you basically gonna be living in a house is gonna be a community, because you're gonna have to people gonna have to start adapting a different type of life living, and that's the way they're gonna have to live eventually, because you ain't gonna be able to keep on standing trying to do what they doing right now, bro. It ain't gonna work out for them. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, it's also one of the reasons why I say they're gonna have to figure it out. Because I'm sorry, but it's not my job to figure it out for them.
Well,
I mean, they're gonna have to go through some struggles. Yeah. That's all that is.
Well, a lot of these women got married young, right? Got divorced, decided to live their best life, and guess what? Ain't nobody marrying them on the other side.
Nope.
And when that kid leaves, they're an old maid in a home, all by themselves. They've neglected themselves for years. You know, doting after their kids who now leave them behind. And they scared to death to be alone.
God forbid if their kids also are on some kind of medication.
Oh, they all on medication now. It's more common not to be on medication than to be on medication now. Or more uncommon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is nuts.
Oh, they're gonna have to figure it out. Right now, I'm always trying to see where the direction of things are going, because I don't see things getting better for a lot of people.
But imagine, right? You're 40, right? You live with your single mom who divorced your dad when you were 12, and she passes, right? You know nothing about the bills for the house. You know nothing about taxes. You know nothing about nothing.
They're gonna sell the house
or lose it,
which
is the more likely outcome.
Yeah, because you ain't made it. You ain't put yourself in a position to take over.
Well, the parents also didn't do so,
because that usually work out where your parents go, that you already established in your own, and usually when your parents leave and go, you take over their stuff, because it kind of helps you out because you didn't already got it. You probably living in the city. They probably living out a little farther. Even if they is in the city, you know what I'm saying? You get a payment that's probably a little bit smaller than yours. At least help you out a little bit. You won't be paying so much, stuff like that. But these people right here, they just lose everything because they not even financially settled. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing going for themselves when their parents go. They were still living with their parents. Are still, like Mayo said, they were still getting money from them.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to take over some bills when you was getting money from the person who was paying the bills? That don't make sense.
I started running into these kids in 2000, right around 2000 when I got out of the service. Guys that were 25, 26 years old in the Army, and their parents still paid their car notes.
Damn, I wish
or
I had
their car insurance.
Wish I had that too.
I mean, I had to teach grown men how to do laundry.
Oh, that's a lot of grown men now.
I mean, it's nuts.
In that part, grown women got to learn how to do laundry.
Well, I wish I had some of these gifts and blessings that these people had. Nigga, do you know what it helped me out, bro? If I didn't have to pay insurance, nigga, do you know what it helped me out, bro? If somebody would have paid that high ass Sprint cell phone bill, bro.
No,
come
shit.
on now.
First serious bill, that shit fucking ruined
bro.
me.
That shit, niggas, they think like I told my brother. I say, bro, you know, when we first came around, they had cell phones and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you got to realize, bro, we the generation, bro, where they fucked the game up, bro, with this that cheap ass unlimited plan shit. Do you realize, nigga, that what our parents is paying for phones, nigga, bro?
Shit. Do you know what we was paying to call the next town when we had wire phones? That shit was long distance.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, they charge you every time.
That shit was like 15 cents a minute.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, some people don't even realize that.
Hell, most people don't even you have to find what a payphone looks like these days.
If you see a payphone, get the hell out of that neighborhood because it's bad. It's real bad.
One of the things that me and my girl does now, that when we walk across the street, we look for old payphones, like in train stations and on old city blocks. Like, oh, look, it's still here. I would never in my life touch it, but I'm like, look.
I guarantee that some bitch don't work.
I will never
decoration like a motherfucker. It's the appeal of the city.
It will never get close to my face.
And you'd have to pump $3 in quarters in it to talk for a minute.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna hit. I wonder how much that bill is, boy. Say, because it used to be cheap, man. It ain't cheap no more, boy.
Shit, it wasn't cheap last time I remember using it. It was definitely over a quarter.
Yeah.
Might have been like 75 cents for a call.
That's crazy, bro. 75 cents down there, $1 to call somebody, bro.
Yeah.
That, bro, now, could you bring those back?
Fuck that.
I'm just asking, just seriously. I mean, I understand that it's a dying thing. So I don't know how much a plan like that would be if you had to be able to put phones everywhere.
Oh, people just go back to breaking them to get the money out of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, nobody. It's not like people carry around cash anymore, especially chain.
True.
Yeah. You can put that over like they do with the propane tanks. Use a card, slide your.
Yeah. It'd have to be a card, just like they do with the vending machines now.
Yeah, just slide your card in there, nigga. Hey, make a phone call. Charge you $1.50. Might come up. I mean, the washers are public to go wash your clothes at a washateria now, that laundromat. Man, then they put a little small regular washing machine, bro. That shit used to be like $2, maybe $1.75. Nigga, that shit $4.75 for the small washing. Now the one that's circle that's spinning, you know what I'm saying, that's off the ground and shit. Oh yeah, bro. That big motherfucker new $7. And then they got the one that can hold up to 3 to 6 loads, nigga. That bitch, nigga, down there $12.
Yep.
In quarters, nigga. I say, damn, what kind of machine take this many quarters? But then you go to the fancy ones, like Mayo said, you pay everything and they put that shit on the card.
In the card.
Yes, sir. And nigga, you just run that shit up. So it's a lucrative opportunity.
Let's see about that one. Let's see about that.
I think what the future we're going to see is a move back to 3 generations in a home.
Huh. If they can hold out that long.
Yeah, but 3 generations is a lot closer together than it used to be. Nowadays, you could have 3 generations in 32 years.
Well, yeah, but you also have to have like families actually staying and living, living all together. Not really. Well, they're not really branching out too much now, but like literally living throughout the home.
And which you're seeing, you don't see kids just leave home anymore. You barely see kids go to school out of state anymore.
Yeah, but I also don't see a lot. Well, at least because I'm in the city, you don't really see large family homes anymore.
Oh, you do out in the world.
Yeah.
A large family home in New York City was a 3-bedroom home.
Yep.
But there was 12 people living in it.
Yeah. Now, if you're lucky, you'll get like the 3 floors, 3 family homes.
Mm-hmm.
And those things are still rare.
Oh yeah, because they've all been apartmented off.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a new apartment complex they're building over on the east side of town. It's 800 units. 500 of them are single bedroom units.
Jesus Christ. I mean, you say single bedroom, like 1 bedroom or freaking or studios?
1 bedroom units. 1 bedroom units. Either 1 bedroom or studios. Because they don't expect people to get married at all in the future.
Yeah, well, it seems like they already pushed for that. Like I said, they try to push you to either live together. I'm surprised they're putting out 1 bedroom, to be honest with you, because that's what most people are looking for, and you can't even get that because everybody's roommating here.
Well,
1 bedroom is what
why
people are
they're
dying
building,
for.
because you have an entire generation that's never shared space with somebody, and they don't want to as an adult either.
Oh, that's all I ever craved for. Just give me my own space. I don't want to live with nobody.
Nope, you don't want to smell nobody else's dirty feet.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hear nobody else's freaking radio alarm clock go off. I don't want to hear about anybody else's snoring. I don't want none of that shit. Like, I don't want to walk by and step on someone else's shit, kicking someone else's stuff around. Like,
well, no, and you want privacy.
Absolutely.
And because that's something I never had in my parents' house. They didn't. If my dad thought I was up to something, he's going to search my room. I had no private space in that home. That was his house.
Like I said, I felt bad for my roommates, but I was like, girls, I got to do what I got to do. Like I said, I had 2 female roommates, and if I took a chick, I was knocking them down. They were like, oh my God. And they just be looking at me. I'm just like, sorry, ladies. Sorry. Because
Not
they
like
were
they
used to
doing the
having
same
girls.
thing somewhere else.
Well, they were used to having girls. Like they just all had girls. Once they took me on as a guy, they were just like, I don't know. And once women started coming over, they were like, okay. And then they were just like, holy, like, and the walls would be like paper then. So you could just hear them like, oh my God. Like they giggling and they're just like, oh my God. And we're giggling like, oh my God, they heard you. Like I've literally had neighbors come from downstairs, come up like literally couples, and they were just like, so we were wondering if around like that 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you're arguing and the guy goes, or having sex. It's like, and like I'm standing with my roommates and I'm just like, okay, yeah. I think we can find a way to be a little bit more quiet. And then she's like covering her mouth, like, oh my God, like they're definitely talking about you. Look, and then I turned around to my girl. She was like, no, I don't even want to. Like, she was so embarrassed. I was like, I was the one that was standing there. I had to sit there with my roommate. You wasn't even around. My girl was embarrassed. She didn't want to show up. She didn't want to show up to like a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ. And it was like that even before my girl. They were just like, yo, we can't. Because they're like, he just brings different girls in and it's the same shit. And I was like, damn, I feel bad. I had my roommates. One of them was like doing a business. She was like, I cannot do the business in the living room no more. I have to reorganize my room. She realized I got clients trying to do something in the living room, and then all of a sudden, whole bunch of noise. My clients are laughing. Like,
Well, you
what
were
am I
just a
doing?
terrible roommate, dude. Honestly, you were just a terrible roommate. That's all that was.
Listen. I was not gonna hold out. It's not like she gave me a client schedule. Hey, at this time I'm gonna have this client over. So could you not do this? There was never a conversation about that. I would never know when she's gonna set up. I might be in my room the entire time with a chick. Sorry, I didn't walk outside to say, hey, oh, you got somebody here? Sorry, we can't do anything until this person's go. That's not the way it happened. It just wasn't the way it happened. So I was like,
You're
hey,
just a terrible roommate. That's all.
listen, I didn't make it easy on them from day one. From day one. I was like, you never had guys as a roommate? Well, I'm not gonna make it easy on you. I am not quiet. And then I was there for like 4 years, almost 5 years with them, and they were just like, "You're leaving? Oh my god, we've gotten so used to you." And I was like, "Yeah." Because when shit was broken, I fixed it. They never even had to mention it to me. I just noticed it's broken and I fixed it. She's like, "Did you notice that this doesn't squeak anymore?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." "Hey, did you notice that this is like brand new?" "Yeah, I know. I bought it and I'm the one that fixed it." "Oh, this step on the stair was like all wobbly and now it's like all straight." Like, "Yeah, you're welcome." Never said shit to me. I just would notice that things are messed up. You didn't notice that the tub was clogging up? I did, but yeah, I fixed it. Oh, okay. Just like when you notice shit like that, let me know. Don't be quiet. I love the always excuse. I never noticed anything. Why, ladies? How come y'all never notice anything? You there?
Well, yeah,
You in
but
your
it's just like
tub?
on these panels, right?
Yeah.
How many times you sat here and listened to somebody's fucking smoke alarm giving the low battery warning?
Yeah.
And whoever's living there, it's been going off for weeks.
Did not happen with me.
They don't even notice.
Yeah, it did not happen with me.
It's
Not at all.
nuts. Dude, if I get a cricket in my house, I'm on
I'm
the hunt
noticing.
until I
Yep,
find it and kill
absolutely.
it.
Hey, mama. Yeah, man, I'm absolutely not playing with that. Like they were like, I'm just sitting there going, like I pull them into the living room, like, hey, can you come out? Can you come out? Hey. I'm like, just wait, 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 wait. And they're like, what are we waiting for? Wait. You hear that? And they're like, no, exactly. This shit was chirping. You hear
Yeah.
nothing now. That's the way it's supposed to be. Oh yeah. Oh, you're right.
But some people can just ignore that shit, dude. And that definitely ain't me.
Hey, you didn't notice that when you were in the tub, your feet was like splashing in like almost a foot of water? Oh, I didn't notice it. You didn't notice that you had water up to your calves and you were taking a shower. You weren't getting ready for a bath. You didn't notice that. Jesus. Well, I didn't know it was clogged. Well, I can guarantee you it's not from my hair.
Well, it drained, it just took longer. Yeah, a whole
Yeah,
fucking
like
day.
exactly. It was used to be astonishing. Like, I can't believe it. But when I put something in the fridge, they didn't touch it. That's the one thing I liked. That thing looked really good. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I didn't touch it. I was like, oh, okay, good. Good girl. Don't touch it.
But yeah, you got people who will never, ever have to live like, or actually, it's going to happen. They're going to end up having to live with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And those are not great lessons to learn in your 30s and 40s.
No.
They're much better to learn when you're 18, 19.
But I the sad part about it is, like, not for nothing. While I've never lived with a guy, I have seen how some of my guy friends live. I'd rather live with women. As long as they are clean women. They don't gotta be spick and span, but they have to be tidy. They need to be like, I worry about organization because for some reason organization doesn't seem to just come naturally to some. Oh my god, these shelves are here. When these shelves popped up? These shelves have been here at least 2 weeks. Really? Yeah. You didn't notice for 2 weeks. Wow. I noticed there was a new shower caddy. Yeah. When did that come up? That's been there for 2 days. Like, either you're telling me you didn't wash your ass for 2 days, or like I don't know how you didn't walk in and see that, but okay.
Yeah. What happened to the 20 bottles of shampoo in the shower?
Like, it's to your left. Like, that's where it's at now.
Or no, I got rid of the 19 that were empty.
Yeah. Oh, that shit drives me nuts to this day. Like, and I mean, like, not just shampoo and conditioner. I mean, like, even bottles of water. Get down to like the last last 2 swigs of water, and then you just break open a whole new bottle and then leave. Like, what are we doing here? Why are you leaving water all that? Like, it's like the movie Signs. You just leave all the glasses of water everywhere. Like, what are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Either consolidate that shit or throw it out. Why do we got bottles of water everywhere? We got glasses of water everywhere. It's drive me nuts. I'm gonna get to it when. And that would be the living room. Like, why is this bottle here? And this bottle's here. And I could just tell that's you. That's all you. I mean, love them dearly. They weren't really in my way. I fixed things. They didn't really ask me for anything, so that was cool. Or maybe they were just embarrassed to ask me anything. But it was cool. You know. They never asked me about anyone and saying, is she gonna be the one? They never asked me. They were never nosy. Loved it. Oh, you're going out? Okay, cool. I gotta get up really early. When you come in, I don't know what time you're coming in, but you can just be sure to not make a lot of noise. Absolutely. That was like, please don't bring them in drunken, stammering all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. I can do that for you because you asked. That's all. I never thought I would actually enjoy those years, but I actually did. As much as I wanted to get away from it. Once I was gone from it, I was like, that wasn't bad. I loved the neighborhood. Ladies were nice. Because I thought, like, it was already in my mind for some reason, like, oh, I'm going to be living with women. I can just tell they're going to turn against me. This shit is going to be terrible. Never had a bad day with them. Not one day. In 4 years, never had a bad day with them. And I was just like, wow. And then I was even questioning, is this what it's like when you live with 2 white women? What if they were Asian? What if they were Spanish? Because could I be able to get away with this? And they probably had the same thing. Like, yo, we got to worry about this black guy. What's going to happen?
Somebody gonna get pregnant.
Yo, do you know how many times my coworkers would say shit like that? Like, my phone would go off and I'm like, pick up my phone, like, yo, what's going on? Hey, I hate to say this. I will hate to ask this of you. You're probably busy, but when you're on your way home, can you make sure you stop by and bring up toilet paper? And I'm just like, yeah, no problem. And then be like, who's that? I was like, that's my roommate. "Oh, okay. Hey, your roommate's white? Yeah. She's single? Yeah. We knocking it down? No. All the time. Wait, you got 2 female roommates? Yeah. So which one you knocking down? Neither. What? All the time. Why? I'm like, just because it's there doesn't mean you should touch. What's wrong with you? Like, kidding me? He said, thank goodness you were never my roommate. Listen, I'm always worried about a rent situation. It's like, so, I can't really pay. I was wondering if you can cover me this month. You know, I can pay back with like extra. Like, no, I need money. I need money. We're not doing that.
No.
I need tangible funds.
You go sell that on the street and bring me back the money.
Exactly. I know a good corner for you.
Yeah. I ain't paying full price for it. That's for goddamn sure.
Like, when I first moved in with my roommates, and I was telling some of my coworkers, like, yeah, I just moved into a place with roommates. They were like, why didn't you tell me? I would have had you moving with me. I was looking for a roommate. No, thank you.
Hey, Resla, even if they don't pay rent on time, could you still be a roommate?
Say what?
If a roommate didn't pay the rent on time, could they still be your roommate? If
You can't pay.
Oh no.
No,
Oh,
you
no,
can't
no.
pay
Okay.
rent on time.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I never once had the landlord. Listen, it took like 3 years before the homeowner actually met me. We were just coincidentally. I was walking out the door, and he looked at me. And he was like, who are you?" And I just went, "I live here." "Who are you?" And then we never met. And he was like, "I'm the owner." I said, "Oh, really? Hey, good to meet you." So just like, "Yeah, I'm on the second floor." So like, he's like, "Wait, you're the guy?" I said, "I'm the guy, yeah." He was like, "Oh, okay." And like we talked for maybe like 15 minutes. I was like, "I gotta take off. It was good meeting you." And it wasn't hard to mistake me. It was a nice big house. Basement, we rented out everything. It was a nice big house. But it was only like 2 black people in the entire place. So it wasn't hard to figure out who the black people were. Oh, 1 black guy, 1 black girl. And then everybody in that house, of course, thought, oh yeah, they gonna smash for sure, Nope. She was fine as fuck too. I ain't gonna lie. What? Didn't happen. You know why, you bet? Because I keep my tool belt to myself. I
believe in you don't shit where you sleep.
That's exactly it, sir. Not all jobs need to be worked on.
Not all opportunities need to be taken.
But trust me, like they were. Listen, I used to tell people about my roommates, like, yeah, I got 1 roommate. She got her own business. She's doing her thing, whatever. And then every time I gotta walk in the door, it don't matter how tired I am, how lit I am, it be way at crazy times, and she there just doing yoga in the freaking living room. I'm just looking like, and then she'd be like, "Welcome home." Like, "Oh, you're home. Welcome home." I'm just like, why are you greeting me like this? Why are you greeting me downward dog? Why are you greeting me with 1 leg planted and the other one to the ceiling? Why are you greeting me like this? I'm going to my room. And it's just like, I can't do it. And then people were like, she does all that? Yes. And then she cooks stuff. And I don't want to touch it. But she wants me to test it. And I don't want to touch it because she's fucking vegan. Hey, can you try something for me? Do I have to?
You hear me? I don't know about vegan food.
No.
Do I really get attention? Just a small bite. Oh, okay.
I eat vegan. I eat beef. Cows are vegan, so.
And I'd be like, oh yeah. So what do you think of it? Yeah, no, I'm not rocking with this. Like, no. Not flying for me. I don't like it. Well, trust me, I'm pretty sure it tastes better than it smells. That's not a good thing coming from a woman.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like,
I got told I got told you come to the party tonight. I said, what I was getting made? We're making vegan ribs. I said, oh no, I'm not even gonna be there. I don't even know what a vegan rib looks like.
What the fuck is a vegan rib?
Yeah, but this is what
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
telling you. Exactly. I don't even know
Goddamn tofu on celery sticks.
I don't even know,
Fuck
man.
is vegan rib. God damn.
That's a show idea for pet peeves and unnecessary collection. Listen, there are plenty of those in life.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. I'll catch y'all later.
All right. Yeah, I'm
All
about
right,
to
man.
I'll
close
see
out.
you on the porch tonight.
Got you.
All right.
You said on the perspective. I don't know. I think if you would have caught me, not really. I think if you would have caught me early in my younger years, I probably would have considered Hispanic roommates. I'm not sure about now, and I guess depending on what type of Hispanic roommate. I don't know about spotless because I've met some that just sleep all goddamn day, or let's just say they happen to be spotless, right? Snoring all the time because like they work hard and everything, but they come home and they drink all the time, and I could just smell the booze coming from their bones. So Hispanic males, probably not. Hispanic females, probably will.
You ain't gonna do nothing but get fat staying there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be cooking some good ass food if you know how to cook.
Yeah, but then I gotta worry then. Then.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This to me.
All of a sudden she always got a yeah. Here you go, Resla. Here you go. You want some more food? No, I'm good. Hey, I just cooked this. Hey, you want some? No. Next thing you know, she's like, so you and your girl. Like, well, what about me and my girl? I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to be the extra yams on your plate. Like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what's happening here? No, girl. You kidding me? If I had Hispanic roommates with the way how I was doing shit, no, that would not have turned out well. Especially because most women I was with at that point with Spanish would not have turned out well. They were like, so you keep going out this door to bring things in, so you might as well just stay here where it's already here. She just stopped putting me on blast like that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I'm about to go out. I'm about to order something. Like, oh, you ain't got to order nothing. I could cook something for you. Don't worry about it. Like, no, it's all right. No, just go grab something real quick. Just stop playing around. You don't need to spend all that money. I'll cook something right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I could sit down and play game for a little bit.
Exactly. That's how you catch you. Like, you there playing your game. You want something to drink? I bring you something to drink. Like, what? She my roommate. Why is she being so accommodating? What is happening here?
I appreciate you.
You want me to pour you a beer? Like, what? Huh? You look stressed. You want a massage? What's going on here? What is happening here? You're gonna make me call my mama. My mama gonna say the first thing. Is she owe rent? You think she's gonna be late on rent? I don't know. She's never been late before. All of a sudden, she want me to really kick my feet up. She asks me if I'm allergic to anything. She cooking. I don't know what's going on here. Did you sleep with her? I'm like, not yet. swear not yet. I don't know why she being so nice.
You know, it get bad when your mama see them doing this. You, oh, where's my new daughter-in-law? Huh? Yeah, you doing too much. You doing it entirely too much.
I said, "Oh, I know they. I know they play hard and work hard, but the guys that be running across, like they just can't be holding on to their liquor. Like, God damn, dude, what is happening here? Get it together. Not even pulling proper game. I gotta see what they bring home. I'm like, what? Oh, man, he can't. He got beer goggles. He don't know. He doesn't know what he's bringing. Slobbing each other up at the freaking wall and shit inside the apartment. I'm just looking like, oh, I know. I already know. When he wake up in the morning, he gonna be asking me to get into the kitchen. He gonna want to tell me everything about it, and then he gonna want to pull a mulligan. We never gonna talk about this again, okay? Yeah. Just tell me how it was. I swear we'll never talk about this again. I know you made a mistake. That's what happened when you drink too much, man.
That's a fact.
That's exactly what that's gonna be like. You say that. I don't know. You said that's NY people? All right. Listen, I hold my liquor. I have never thrown up on anybody. Never. My own mother doesn't have an accounting of me throwing up on her. I've thrown up on nobody. I've done some other scandalous shit, but I've never done things like that. So I hold my liquor. If I've thrown up, it's because I made myself throw up. That's just my thing. OG, do you have any topics that's gonna be going by on the porch tonight?
No, it's all time. It's a conspiracy Wednesday, so he already had I think 3 or 4 people send him different things. He already had about 3 or 4 of them. I don't know if he's gonna get through all of them, but he said he had a good night for us tonight. So it's gonna be some. I know I seen on the thumbnail some dinosaurs. He been throwing everything in the thumbnails here lately. So if you go look at y'all in the chat, if you go look at the thumbnail, it should let you know what type of conversation we should be having.
God.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them ones. I'm gonna be sitting back laughing tonight. Tonight gonna be a good night for me to smoke some good weed and laugh. Yeah, I ain't gonna have to argue. And I ain't gonna have to argue. This is gonna be all the smart people because this is all about history coming up tonight. So I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. We're gonna be hearing about a lot because whoever brought up these dinosaurs, that's how
that
Tom
dinosaur.
Is
That's Tom. That's most likely Tom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hit the store to go get something like get an energy drink because I will crash out if I don't.
Yeah, sure. I'm about to eat too. Go ahead and get me something to eat before we get ready to start there in about an hour and 30. So
all right, so let me talk to the folks a little bit. You can take off if you want to.
All right, brother. You take it easy. A great show, and y'all had some good talking points. I can't wait to see your shorts. And hey, keep up the great work. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.
I appreciate that. And also, guys and gals, if you enjoyed today's show, which I hope you did, a little bit of rambling, a little bit all over the place, but that's because it was a little bit all over the place, and I need to fix my feed, which is all messed up. I swear I'm gonna have to really clean out a bunch of stuff because my feed's looking crazy. It's hard for me to look for all the things that I want to, and I swear I just need to drink to really mellow out so I can get back into my script and stuff. Thanks for OG coming up, of course, Uncle Tom, of course, Nightish, and Mayo for coming up as well. Locksmith, I think I forgot about you, Locksmith, as well. For those who consecrated to come up, if I remember, then I'll link your channels in the description. Hopefully you guys have fun. Thank you. A little hangout today, not too much on a serious point. I did want to bring up a lot more when it was coming to the Gen Z, but at the same time, Y'all on your own. Be honest with you. I'm too busy worried about what the boomers is doing. Just gotta be honest with you on that. And I think that we are going to be moving to a space where we need to figure out a lot of things going on. For those who didn't know, I have been one of the reasons I'm so tired is because I've literally been looking at other panels, seeing how they move, seeing how they do particular things, and I thought it was very interesting how someone moving around. So, if you manage to see me on some of these actual other platforms randomly one time, which like I was looking at other stuff, earlier today I was like on 2 different channels. I'm all over. I'm just trying to see what's filling out, how they do things, get my name out there, so that people can be able to see what are we doing, how I move as an individual. And we want to, of course, expand the community that we got going on here. Because as much as we are really good with each other, and as much as we all know each other, we have that good family-friendly vibe, we do want to expand the platform, right? Because the best way for us to be able to reach more people so that a lot more people can get the idea of critical thought is that we got to spread out. So, of course, if you know somebody who could be using some of this content, especially when I'm on my little bit more serious notes, be sure to share the content to them. Be sure to recommend the channel, if anything else. And of course, I always have an open up panel. I have days where I have my open up panels where I'm always willing to have conversations with pretty much anyone, even if you have a dissenting point of view. As long as we keep it cool, we keep it respectful, and we're able to run that kind of stuff. Outside of that, you already know how I would like to do things. I would love for you guys, of course, to subscribe to the channel and like if you haven't already, especially if you're new here. Some of y'all like to stay quiet. I know you're doing other things as well. You can't always sit there and watch, but also you can reach me on other mediums such as Twitter. Sometimes I put things up there as well, and also on YouTube, which you already see me. I have my Instagram, which of course is Resla Opinionated, which I'm going to be dropping some other things up there as well. And of course, if you have any show ideas or you just want to be able to talk about particular things, if you're not necessarily writing in the comments, because some of y'all write some wrong stuff, please don't drop that in the comments if you got a whole dissertation for me. You can be able to reach out to me at WreslaOpinionated@gmail.com. Once again, WreslaOpinionated@gmail.com. If you're not really too sure, go to my page. There's a link for you in case you think that's too much for you to actually write out. I appreciate everybody who showed up here today. Once again, thank you for everybody here in the chat. I do appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate all your time and attention that you actually showed to me, because you could have gone to other areas, but you decided to come here. And I thank you wholeheartedly for that. I think I'll see you all next time. And you guys take care of yourselves. And until the next one, you stay opinionated.